Hey, and we are live. Good to see you all. Thank you for coming. I see Joe has dropped. Hope you'll come back. But good to see you, Roger. Glad you could make it.
Me too.
This is the pre-show for the this is a debate. Hopefully all is going to go well. It's going to be quite an exciting, interesting one. There, you see, now it's showing up on YouTube because, guys, when I set up the stream on Restream, it didn't show it was scheduled, which is really sucky. Don't know why I did that. Can you hear me, Roger?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. So are you looking forward to the debate?
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting to see somebody bring some Bible to their biblical debate.
That's exactly my sentiment as well, because I've yet to see any biblical scripture supporting a globe Earth.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't seen it at all. You can't even find it in the Bible. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see what the guy brings up for the scripture, because apparently he is, studying to become get a PhD. So I'm not really sure in what genre. So at least if he's getting a PhD, he should be intelligent. So we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't have trollish behavior.
Yes, I hope he has a demeanor that's actually worth talking to.
Yeah, that's because I've seen so many times when we try and chat to someone, then it's okay. We'll see what happens. That's good.
I'll cross my finger.
Yeah, we'll see how it interacts. Good to see everybody in the YouTube lands. Please hit the likes, share the show, let everybody know we are live. It really, really does help. Ooh, I don't want to cancel there. Any thoughts on what I should really bring up with him?
I would definitely I would drag him through Genesis just to start with, and then take him to Psalms maybe. And if you want to stray off the Bible, you can
have an interactive discussion as well, where I bring up from Logos software, where it's Bible Cosmology.org, where they give all the you can click on the moon and it gives you all the different scriptures for it, stuff like that. I think that can be cool, because then we can do it together and they can see I'm not just pulling it out of my arse, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir, I do. So, I didn't know they had that on Logo software. That's nice.
Yeah, it's quite cool. So definitely going to show him that. I'm looking forward to the debate, to be honest, because people are too scared to really debate biblical cosmology for some odd reason.
Well, maybe they're afraid of the truth is what I'm looking at.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen. But yeah, it's good to see you. I'm glad you could make it. Is your granddaughter on today?
Oh yeah, no, they're with their parents.
Oh, nice.
Mom and Dad don't work on. They take these 2 days off. That's when they're home. So.
Okay.
They have 2 days off a week.
Okay.
Standard weekend, but they don't fall on weekends anymore. They don't go by the weekdays anymore. Work schedules change a lot.
So they have different type of work schedules there.
And when I was growing up, the weekends were weekends, and my dad did work later on when I was older on the weekends. But like when I was little, my grandparents stayed with them. The weekends were weekends, and they were off work, and everything closed down. People went to church, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I notice a pattern with that. Society changes that a lot. Depends on who's in charge.
Yeah.
Right now we got all the liberals in charge, and What
Yeah,
can I say?
you guys have quite a weird political structure going on at the moment there.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting to see what's going to pan out of this one. I might move out of the country. How's
Oof.
South Africa doing?
Worse than you guys. Let's just say we are. I don't think it really matters where a person goes anymore. Every
Yeah,
every place has their own rubbish, you know.
it's going to be a one world thingamabob. I think here pretty soon. They're right there going. We're all going to be under one government.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I, and the thing is that I don't know what everybody's afraid of a one world government for. I understand like the biblical prophecies and having like one dictator run the whole world. I think that's what they tried to stop in World War II. They didn't want one political dictator running it the whole show.
Well, you see how it works though is if you have a one world government, you're not going to have any say for anything.
Oh,
It's
I
going to
get you.
be you either do what we say or that kind of thing. So
I don't want to hear that,
still right
man.
way, yeah. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, man.
Hey, Ryan.
What's up? How we guys doing?
Good,
Just
good.
talking. Ain't nothing going on yet. We're waiting to get a decent political debate or a biblical debate going on.
Yeah.
Yet to see one.
What's up,
Hey,
PJ?
PJ.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, what?
You know what's weird? Because this restream, I set up the debate, the schedule, but it didn't show up on YouTube
Yeah,
until we
no.
went live now.
There's
I
new
couldn't even
settings
send
or
the
something.
link.
Oh, new
So-
settings or something.
Yeah, so I don't know if it is going to be like this. I think because I have to renew my subscription tomorrow. I'd rather than pay $1 extra and get StreamYard.
Yeah, StreamYard.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's so easy. It's simple to work with.
Because I don't want to suffer and schedule a stream and it doesn't show up on the platforms. I
No, of
can't
course
do
not.
anything.
Of course not.
You know what I mean? It's quite hectic. So yeah, I
If-
think I'll probably move over to StreamYard from tomorrow night then.
I pay about £15 a month for StreamYard.
Oh, it's cheaper than what I'm paying.
Is
I'm
it?
paying 19
19. Oh, it's 15 I'm paying.
$19.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
probably about. It's probably so. It's 15. Just over 15.
The problem I have with StreamYard though is like when I go log in, I can't go through a lot of Wi-Fi's. I have to log out and it has to use my internet over the cell. So I lose like extra service. Like if I'm at work, I can't use their Wi-Fi to log through to get to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I have the Wi-Fi.
Wow. So, biblical cosmology.
what do we know about that?
Yeah, that's going to be quite an interesting discussion.
Yeah, man. That'll be good.
I did send him the link. I told him we'll start at 9 o'clock, so we'll see how it pans out with him.
Any chance you're gonna bring Enoch into the picture? Well, if you're gonna use the
He can bring
cosmology.
Enoch in as well if he wants to.
If you want to, yeah. It's not it's scriptural, but it's not biblical.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
canon. It's not biblical canon.
So it's
Yeah.
scriptural, but not biblical. So is that like maybe a technicality there?
Yeah, but even Enoch's not really going to help his case, though.
Well,
No.
I mean, it is biblical in some
Yeah.
Bibles. So
Yeah, the Ethiopian Orthodox
Yeah.
still have it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not going to help his case, though, if he's trying to chat biblical cosmology and he thinks it's a globe, though.
No.
Enoch's even worse for him, actually, based on that.
Yeah,
No,
I'm just hoping he doesn't bring any up because it's not going to help any case for him, and that's why they don't bring it up. I'm pretty sure, from what I can tell.
Yeah,
They stay away from the Bible when they talk about biblical cosmology, which is really a paradox, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look at that debate I had with Peter Markley. It was supposed to be
Oh, yeah.
biblical cosmology, and he didn't want to bring up scripture
Yeah.
at all. He was running away from it like the plague.
they all do.
Oh, I've been having fun watching Nathan do his live streams with the normies.
Did he really shave his head, or is it just a filter?
Oh yeah, no, he shaved his head, dude. He really did,
Okay,
and
I couldn't figure out is it a filter or he shaved his head for
It's
it.
like
he
bits.
shaved it.
No way.
He should actually do a spoof of Professor X from X-Men.
They were calling him Dr. Evil, some of the
Xavier.
normies.
You should do a Dr. Xavier spoof.
Yeah. Magneto didn't have a bald head though, does he?
No. It was Dr. Xavier that has the bald head.
And Patrick Stewart made the best one.
Yeah, he did well.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, guys, if anybody's just tuned in, this is only the pre-show. We're starting normal time in about 18 minutes for the debate. I did send the link to candidates. Hopefully he'll pop in soon. And yeah, the debate will start at 9. And then afterwards we'll have an after show.
Can we have a pre-debate?
What they should debate about. I'm sure you guys agree.
I just set my stream up for the morning now. I might as well do it, man.
Is Michael coming in, PJ?
Tonight, I don't know.
I don't think so.
He was on mine. He was on mine earlier.
Yeah, he said if he wasn't asleep, he would come in. I thought he said that
Oh
earlier.
yeah, if he's not asleep. But I mean, after the debate, that's not usually Michael's time, so he probably.
Yeah.
And he's tired. I mean, look at the work he did today. So
I want to see their work they're doing. I want to see the observations they're making.
yeah,
When he going out with tinfoil hat, man.
yeah,
He
they
just
do
disappeared.
cool things with the telescope. Yeah,
Yeah.
got a lot of background noise when you're hitting something.
No, not really.
It sounds like you're hitting-
I'd open a dishwasher. That's all it is.
Oh, okay.
Just pulling the cup out. I'm getting a drink.
But yeah,
27.
so I think from tomorrow night, I'm going to try StreamYard. It's a shame because I do like Restream.
I do like Restream better though, like as used for me, because I can go through my Wi-Fi with it.
No, but I'm liking the Restream. But the problem is now, if it's going to give me these issues, I can't use it anymore.
I liked Restream,
I get you.
but it always was not what it was. Crap with my laptop when I had the laptop. It just did not work with it.
Now Vicky's got to deal with it.
Well, that's why she's on StreamYard.
CP, it's myself and PhD candidates.
I wonder what that's why I'm thinking politics.
I don't know what. Trying to think of the right word. I don't know what kind of path he's getting his candidacy in. If it is a he, I'm not really sure. But all I know is PhD candidate. But he sent me a link in Discord to say, well, what's the exact word? Let me just get the exact words up quickly. Oh yeah, I assume you don't need to show evidence that I'm indeed a PhD candidate. For more info, and gave me a link, and then it sent me to a Office of Graduate Education, and it was showing some woman, Allison, and I said, should I call you Allison? Or and he says, no, he's not Allison. So I don't know why he would send me a link for someone else.
Weird.
I think I think it was just saying you do get such things as a PhD candidate, maybe.
Are you being trolled, Flatzoid?
Not that it makes a difference, though.
It's
Is it going to make a
weird.
difference if the person's a PhD or not?
No, I'm just saying it's just kind of odd though. Like that's not me. That person they sent you is just like
Yeah. That's really weird. Lowry, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really much of a fan of Nachita right now. I supported the guy so much, but this last few bashings he's been giving me for no apparent reason. I don't know what I ever did to the guy.
Me neither. I don't understand him.
Really uncalled for. That's why I do say this Deltardian Upward Rising Earth is a cult, because it's like people just fall for that idiocy, and then everybody that doesn't agree with him is all of a sudden the enemy.
I get that. He was on David Banner's the other night. He was giving David a hard time because he wasn't sharing decent content in a lounge.
And the thing is, Dave always says that Dell's all right at all. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
Yeah, he didn't have a problem with it. Yeah.
But I mean,
But
I was, like I said, I sent an email to Nachita before Dallin and me went up. Said, yeah, can we organize a thing, Cool. Yeah, he'll get back to me. He didn't get back to me. Instead, he had QNFI on. They slagging me off, making insulting me and stuff based on strawmans, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
And I asked him, okay, what's going on? He didn't answer me back. Then he created that stream that he was going to have with me and them. Didn't send me the link. And then they badmouthed me on there as well.
Yeah, they're trolling you.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, Natch, but I can't support that. I don't know what I ever did to him, but I was only ever nice to the guy.
It's got to be Dell. I'm telling you.
See, the problem is Dell and them can't accept physics. There's so many things that show them wrong that instead of accepting that, okay, maybe they're wrong, they're just going to try and change physics to suit them. That's
They're
it.
rewriting physics.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. People have tried it before. I promise.
Yeah, Lowry, even if I just go say hello in Natch, the people will literally just be calling me retarded and clown, insulting me just because it's hello. You know what I mean? So it doesn't even help going there anymore.
Yeah, but why does this affect their? Why does it affect everybody's social behavior? I don't get that.
Hey, hello, gentlemen.
Glad
How you doing?
Hey, Vlad.
All right, how's everything going? PJ, Ryan again.
Good,
Nope,
man.
Magic Man,
Good.
That's
and
Roger.
Mr. Flats. It's been a while, man.
Good to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
you,
you
man.
doing okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just recovering from a couple of nights ago. I'm going live again tonight to finish up the rest of the second quadrant of the Urbano Monte map.
Nice. You're actually
Yes,
killing
it
it,
is.
by the way. That's really awesome.
Oh,
I love that. It's an interesting
Man,
map.
listen, it is, and I'll tell you the reason I'm.
Oh no. Did he drop?
Starlink satellites are
I was counting down. I was waiting for it. It's either robot or drop. One of the two. He'll be back.
Yeah,
No, he's doing a good job with the map, and I mean they're doing long sessions. I couldn't listen to the whole damn thing. I had to wait. I fell asleep.
You know,
Oh, there
it's
he
not right. You know, it's not right unless my internet goes out.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So yeah, man, I wouldn't be as high as I am if it wasn't for you and your channel, man. Like real talk. And and by the way, just so you're not mad, like I've been mocking you a little bit. I've been kind of mimicking you a little bit.
So no, I'm happy about it.
Well,
Sounds
we have,
you're really you're good at impersonating. I would love to hear that sometime. Actually,
That would be
Yeah, like everybody gets it, and they think that you're on the channel or something. So it's pretty wild.
But one thing you have to realize about me, I know when something's just a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm actually very easy when it comes to things.
All right, yeah. I didn't
Hey,
want you to
don't
be
worry
like.
when it comes like that.
I didn't want you to one day hear your voice in a weird kind of tone, and you'd be like, "What the hell?"
Oh man, he's off again.
Oh no. I want to hear him do Dell.
Candidate's in. Hey, PhD candidate, good to see
There
you.
you go.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you doing?
Here we go. Here we go.
Hello, PhD.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello.
I'm back.
Oh, there we go.
We have a
geez,
candidate, but they're not talking. Maybe they're running for office this year.
PhD candidate.
Yeah, the debate only starts in like 9 minutes anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're probably
my-
drinking water, clearing their throat, getting ready for the debate.
Get myself together. The PhD candidate. He's going to teach us. He's going to learn us, huh?
Oh yeah, of course.
Can't wait.
Well, it's good to see you, PhD. Is your mic working?
Maybe they drop in and drop back out. Oh, he just did too.
Sounds and vid.
Sounds and vid's not working. Have you set it up yet, PhD? You have to go to settings and you'll have to set your mic and your sound up.
Or it might just be on the page at the top of the screen.
No, it shows he's unmuted.
Okay.
Okay, or just drop out and drop in again. Yeah, try again.
I want to hear Vlad do Dell. It's moving. Cause it's moving.
It's moving.
Hey, Jaminus, how's it going,
Yes.
pal? How's it
Jim Anus is in the house.
He's in the house. He's in
The best anus in town.
the best anus in the world.
Oh, in the world. Oh, yeah. The bloody world.
I mean, he's got a bit of competition when it comes to Uranus, but when it comes to this world, he's all right. He's all right. You know?
Yeah.
The gas is escaping out of that Uranus. I guess.
That's the one.
No containment. Q was telling Nathan he needed to get a bottle of Rogaine after he shaved his head. He's like, get some Rogaine.
When I first seen it as well, because I haven't looked at it properly, I just seen it through the thumbnail and know when you get the loop when it gives you the first 30 seconds before you click on it. I was like, no, it's got to be a filter. And I realised it wasn't like that.
It looks
No,
so
he
weird.
I wasn't expecting it.
But it's something
Well,
you're used to. That's why I asked, is it a default or not?
No. He shaved it.
Not even just a number one. He's bipped it. He's made
Totally
it
gone.
Oh, yeah. That's what you do when you got to do that. And if you go
I
on ball,
I unfortunately don't have the head for that.
No, man.
I don't either, but I've done it.
I'm so glad I got hair because anything below a number two to me is like I just like stepping up.
Some people it can suit them if they go bald, but there's some of us that just not really made for it.
No, I'm not made.
Don't have the profile, don't have the round head. Yeah. You don't like Mr. Clean, you ain't gonna do it. No, but your features on your face are much more pronounced. That's what makes it look so weird when you first see it. Like Nathan, like, whoa, he's got a nose, and then look at those ears.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll have to cover a few more of his Omi TV ones. They're pretty funny.
Oh yeah, they are. He put out a whole bunch more. Like I went through like 6 of them today. That's why they get a kick out of it. People like freak out when he pops in. You know, the Earth is flat. It's measured flat. What about containment? And these people like are high in their bedrooms watching this on their internet.
Well, I see we got 24 votes already. Biblical cosmology describes enclosed stationary flat Earth 88%, globe Earth 12%. Who typed globe Earth? Come on, you read your Bibles.
No, they don't, and they think the Earth is a gobstopper.
A gobble-stobble.
Did Luca ever find that gobstopper he went looking for?
I hope PhD comes back. We still got to have a debate in like 5 minutes.
They're both gone still, aren't they?
Yeah.
So how's the Cookie Monster doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, beautiful.
Munching cookies as usual.
Well, we had a decent little stream over on PJ's earlier. It was
nice.
Quite interesting. Yeah, we had to have some disclaimers thrown in there.
Oh yeah, of course, because they start talking about pedophilia and that, you know what I mean? So
yeah, PDF files. It's better to say PDF files and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's mad. You know, I just said that on mine, then on yours, I just blotted out that word. Yeah, I meant PDF files. That's what I meant. Yeah, we disclaimed that. Obviously, we're not in support. It was just
crazy. It's like so many people have become PDF files these days.
I know, and it's and it's being accepted as a sexual orientation.
Yep.
I don't get it.
Disgusting.
Sexual orientation, but when it comes to age like that, that's where,
yeah, but that is being now recognised and being okayed-ish. As to be okay as a sexual. Yeah, I'm a PDF file.
Yeah, guys, if you want to hear what they spoke about, go hit PJ's link. I think.
Yeah. It's not it's not all about that. It's just part of the guy's testimony. It's in the guy's testimony. It's not about that. It's not. Didn't even know that was going to be in it.
You know what I found really interesting? You've been seeing this whole thing with Mr. Beast at the moment.
Yes, of course.
Okay. There's a theory going around now as well that
I believe
the reason everything's going so bad for him now is because remember he used to be a Christian and everything.
Yeah, well he did.
And then the more successful he came, he decided, he's just agnostic. He doesn't really believe in God, Jesus. He doesn't announce himself. But apparently, someone said when they went on his last video, or not video, or he's starting a new show, and he's telling them to address him as God.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Mm.
Yeah. So
He's
there's
got
a theory going around that maybe this is God's way of showing him, bringing him back down to earth. Dude, you're just a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
see,
gotcha.
Pride before the fall comes pride, and that's
yeah,
exactly what probably
see,
happened.
if you think it's funking stupid, we weren't talking about it openly. It was on my
the
testimony.
review. Yeah,
we
it
weren't
was a
talking
test.
about it openly. It slipped out, so don't be going on about people being funking stupid and being cheap.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Beast has.
Chill.
Working now.
See here?
Yeah, PhD's back. Yep, I heard something.
I don't hear a voice though.
I
Yeah,
heard
Mr.
something.
You did? I heard a pen drop. It's AT&T. Ding. Yeah, Mr. Beast, he's got a toy line we're pushing at Walmart. He's got toys for kids. It's Mr. Beast Lab, and they have these like weird, odd.
He's not as a good
Toys.
person. People thought he was. He's more into money and all that. He's just about
Yeah.
making money. That's all.
So he made a toy line, and I guess kids are buying it. We're selling them.
Yep.
He's a household name.
But if you even look at his Feastables, it started off with being healthy.
Yeah.
And then what happened is later on he changed the recipes or something, and he's supposed to be healthier than Hershey's. And when they look at the contents, it's even more unhealthier than Hershey's.
Oh, they lied to you about it?
Yeah.
He is the
Hey,
healthiest.
let me get in your PhD. How's it going?
That was his muffle. Is your mic working? It don't sound right.
Yeah,
I'm
I
getting an
hear
echo.
we hear our echo through you, PhD. Not anymore.
There's a little bit. Yeah.
Hope he gets it sorted out.
Yeah. It'd be a bad debate like this.
The debate's about starting in a minute.
He's definitely
Oh,
got
Lord.
a microphone working because there's sound coming from him.
Something. Yeah.
Are you talking, PhD?
1, 2. Say 1, 2. Testing.
12 o'clock.
Ding. It's 1 o'clock here and 12 o'clock there. And 9 o'clock
Yes.
in South Africa.
He is talking.
8 o'clock.
He's talking because someone's
better than gold. I think PhD is a professing Christian as far as I know. Probably, obviously a Glober though, so it's going to be interesting. Hopefully the mic gets sorted so we can have this debate.
It almost
Both
sounds like
sides are not working.
It almost sounds like Ken Hovind kind of stuff.
Yeah. Isn't your settings working, PhD? Because usually it's just settings that have to be. So what you do is there's a bottom, there's like looks like a flower kind of thing, a cog. You can click on it, go settings, and you can go to video and audio, and you can do your settings there. You should be able to set everything up there. Yes, Iron.
Oh, it's good to be back, guys. I apologize for that.
We definitely have
Just a little
feedback
bit
now.
of echo sounds like.
Yeah, it's feeding through PhD. Oh.
Yeah. Turn the YouTube off if you have it on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just listen to your restream.
What you could do is you could pause the YouTube stream and then you could still see the chat continuing on as normal.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yep. It's bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Definitely is going to be a long debate at this rate. Maybe we could do it over chat, have the debate, type it in, you could read it off.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Like you're in court and you're a stenographer. And I would hate to be a
Cannot echo
stenographer.
through me using it. Yes, it is echoing through you,
It's
PhD.
coming for you.
It literally shows it on screen. It's going through you, mate.
Your headphones have usually got microphones on them.
Yeah.
Who do we have
What's
in? Is
up,
that Joe?
Hey, Butters here.
Butters. Oh,
Yeah.
that's Butters. Okay. Hey, Butters. Now, if you get in this refrigerator. You remember the apocalypse episode they did with Butters and Cartman? They went to the junkyard and he jumped in the refrigerator. He was going to survive.
That was hilarious.
It was.
Sound cannot echo through me using headphones.
What if your headphones have got a mic on them? You know?
I like that Mr. Clean look he threw out there too.
PhD,
Butters has cut his hair.
PhD, you maybe have a phone. Maybe you can use it through your phone rather than
Your headphones.
or through. Because I'm not sure if he has a microphone through if he has a laptop or a computer.
And sometimes using headphones doesn't cut out the mic if you've got more than one mic. I've done it before, like I've had my camera mic on and the computer mic. Well, the laptop.
Otherwise, it might be better to drop and just join using your phone rather. Then you don't have to worry about earphones and a microphone because then you got inbuilt microphone.
I wonder what's the PhD in. I wonder.
I'm also wondering.
I think it's in communications.
Yeah, it could be. I didn't know you could get a PhD in communications. I've done telecommunications, and I didn't get a PhD in it.
He runned.
We'll see now if he's gonna.
He ran.
Yeah, he's probably.
But I don't know. All these smart people seem to always struggle with their technology for some odd reason.
Hey, Flats. I wasn't going to say nothing. You said it, man.
Man,
That's true. It's true.
The broken mic syndrome.
Yeah. Yesterday, no mics, no cameras, nothing.
so
I guess-
Mr. Sorry,
That's what
Mr.
happens
Biscuits.
when you know- Yeah, that's what happens when you know science so well. Can't even
yeah.
operate your own equipment.
Yeah, pretty tough, isn't it?
Or does NASA make a catalog with some new equipment they can order?
Is this the South Funny science technology?
Hmm
Thank God for space. Hey, Butter, how you doing today? You haven't said much. It's
I'm good,
been.
man. How about yourself?
How's your day going?
It's
Oh
good.
Lord,
It's
you're
good.
in the bottom of a can. Yeah, you're on the
no,
road,
I'm
huh?
in my car. Yeah, exactly.
You
We're
are
out
in
and about.
you sounds like you're in the ISS, to be honest.
Butter,
Well,
that-
Brad-
No.
yeah, Butter actually has some pretty good stuff coming up here on True Earth Tuesday, and I'd love for you guys to be there to catch it. It's some really, really useful information that I think could help everybody. I don't want to spoil it and give it away now. You know what I'm saying? But he's got some very, very useful and insightful information that I think could definitely help everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
So
Nice.
It could even be his reception. I mean, maybe his Wi-Fi is not really great. We'll see.
Oh,
Hopefully
mine's
it
much better now that I got Wi-Fi.
So I'm glad we had started a pre-show where you guys are able to imagine I'm just sitting here all alone.
You'd be a bit bored by now, I think.
He playing with the paint.
I
Mr.
think
Hawkins.
then I would have gone over Planet Walk's latest stream about me.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
3.5 hours long.
3.5 hours, man.
serious.
Because remember, he's
That's
not
a
obsessed with
serious
me, guys.
dedication.
He's
not
done
obsessed
full
with me.
in-depth psychoanalysis, isn't he?
Well, the documentary's growing, isn't it, Wes? You're gonna have a hell of one psychology
I can't wait
documentary
till the
on.
documentary's finished, though. Because I got 2 parts of the documentary
All right,
finished already.
I'm back.
sound
guys.
better,
Sorry
Butters.
about that.
Yeah, much
Yeah.
better.
So okay, good. Yeah. I switched to my headphones, so took a walk. My phone's I probably have like 30% left on it, but yeah, about Tuesday, Vlad started bringing it up, and then my phone just kind of boogered out on me. Yeah, if you guys want to join, that's about hydrogen water and the benefits of hydrogen water and hydrogen gas breathing in itself. And I have a guy
Yes.
that I purchased it from probably about 5 years ago. So I asked him if he'd be willing to join because he has a wealth of knowledge in this information. I'm getting nothing out of this other than just sharing the information because I realize there's so many people out there that still haven't even heard about it. So it's
You sure you're not shilling for the hydrogen company?
I guarantee it. I promise you.
Really?
Yeah, you'll see the machine
what's
itself.
Really?
What's
You'll
up,
see
PhD? Are you able to talk now?
So,
Hello, can you hear me now?
yeah. Once you guys see
Yeah,
it,
Yeah.
that's more or
perfect.
less
Awesome,
me.
You
awesome.
sound muffled. You
Oh, yeah,
sound
little
fine.
muffled.
We can hear you, but you sound very muffled.
It's okay. It's better than it was.
Let's see if I can fix this through there.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
I can't
couldn't make
hear
that out.
anything anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I
Maybe
hear is
take the
whoa.
take the microphone back away from you a little bit.
Yeah. Check your selection, your microphone selection in the gearbox. I think if you go to the
Yeah, there's a cog
gearbox,
at the bottom of settings, and then you should
Yeah.
be able to go to audio,
yeah,
and you can set audio input.
that's right.
You can lower it, higher it.
Yep. Check. I don't know what kind of mic you have, if it's a mic, if it's a thing, but it should show up. So give it a test.
Otherwise, PhD, if you want to, we can always reschedule it for another time.
Yeah.
If you need to get a new mic or something set up, you know what I mean?
Lovely, eh? The wonders of technology.
I know a guy that can help you with it. Nathan Oakley is a great man with sound. Good recommendation.
Is this better?
No.
Not a little bit,
Hello?
but not much.
Yeah. No.
Hello? Yeah, I heard the hello.
Yeah. Just go through them one by one if you have to.
So I'm on my headphone, using a headset.
There, that's much better.
That's better.
That's better. It's still muffled, but I can hear you at least.
Ooh, this is going to be
Lovely.
interesting.
Why do you do restream? Just use OBS.
I was always using OBS, but it keeps changing its settings, which is irritating. But from tomorrow, I'm going to think I'm going over to StreamYard rather.
Okay. Let's give this a try.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, see you guys. I'll see you guys for the after show.
See you after.
Awesome.
All right.
Ta-da.
All right.
Take care, guys. Take care. We'll see you then.
Hell of a
Hit the
debate.
likes.
What
Yeah,
time does that
guys.
start?
All right.
Smell you
We
later.
started already.
Oh.
We're kind of already in it, yeah.
Yeah, but after
Enjoy.
the debate, we're going to do it in the same show, so you guys have the link already
Yes.
for the after show.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yes.
See you after.
Okay.
Ta-da. Later,
All
guys.
right.
good.
Ciao, ciao.
All right.
Okay, cheers, guys. Thanks
Later.
for coming. Hit those likes. Share the show, guys.
Yes, sir.
What is it of the show? Yeah. Good night.
Just
I'll see you guys later. Later.
Yeah. Cool. Now it's just us, man. How are you doing?
Man. Doing well. And you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks.
It's gonna be a long night. I understand. Lots of streaming.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's normal for me.
Okay.
So, yeah. Do you want to tell anybody about yourself and everything so everybody can know where you come
So I
from?
already read one of you guys asking what my PhD is in. I think I already explained to you that I'm a PhD candidate, so not a PhD yet.
Mm-hmm.
I shared a link.
Yeah, but
This is a bit of foot in mouth. People here are allowed to now use something similar to ABD, all but dissertation. And I mean, I personally don't like using it, but it's a bit of foot in mouth, making a joke out of it.
Yeah. No, I think because we're trying to figure out maybe what field you're trying to get your PhD. I think that's what they're more or less
My
asking.
field would be in sociocultural aspects of tropical forestry.
Oh, that's cool. It sounds interesting.
Yes, I enjoy it.
Nice,
Lots
nice.
of time in the field, lots of time traveling, so it's a great job.
Yeah, okay. So, I just want to find out: are you a Christian, or do you believe? Are you agnostic, or?
Um, I follow the religion of what shall I say about that? I'm definitely not a Christian,
But you're
I
agnostic.
follow Shayoluk and Lisan Al Gaib.
So you're agnostic, though. You do think there is a God, though.
Yes, I do.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So this is biblical cosmology that you wanted to have a discussion about. Is there anything specific based on it that you want us to debate about it?
Yeah, of course. I mentioned it to you. So we started off this discussion with on your Discord with me asking, oh, what are the verses in the Bible that talk about biblical cosmology?
Mhm.
And that somehow you interpreted that as me saying that the Bible doesn't talk about cosmology, which is a bit of a strawman argument. But that's where we started off, right? Discussing and things. And that's what I got in. I'm interested in learning more about the biblical cosmology that you say is in the Bible. And
Yeah,
I think we should have a discussion about that cosmology versus cosmogony. You know, you had a discussion with, what's the guy's name, Peter?
or so many of them. Tiny Captain, maybe, or extremist.
No, you had on the show.
Oh, Peter Markley. Peter Markley.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So you agree with him that the Bible doesn't talk about biblical cosmology?
No. I agree with him that there is a difference between cosmology and cosmogony.
Okay. So you agree then that the Bible doesn't teach cosmology?
No. I agree
Well,
with Peter that there is a difference between cosmology and cosmogony. And I was
No, but he's
asking, oh, what are the verses in the Bible that talk about cosmology?
yeah, but
I'm not
Peter's
saying
whole
that there is
argument
no.
was, yeah, but Peter's whole argument was the Bible doesn't teach a cosmology. That's his whole argument.
Yes, and that's his argument, not mine.
Yeah, that's what
As
I
I
was
clearly
asking. Do you
stated,
agree with him?
I don't know. I don't know the Bible.
Oh,
I know there is a difference between cosmology and cosmogony.
Yes.
And that's what I agreed with him about.
Okay, so what exactly is? I'm not sure what you want to debate then, because you just said you don't really know the Bible.
Exactly. So I don't know why you got the idea that there was a debate. We clearly agreed upon a friendly chat to talk about biblical cosmology and what do you call them, the portals of heaven. So I can take you as a background. I can take you through the differences of cosmology and cosmogony. If that helps you.
You can see. Yeah, you can see what I got on screen.
I can only see you on screen.
Can you not see? I got biblicalcosmology.org on screen.
No, I only see your face and the restream, and it doesn't seem to move at all. I'll put YouTube on. Just hang on.
Yeah, I think you might have Wi-Fi issues or something. Do you have a stable connection?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm sharing screen right now.
Ah, now it's coming through.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you ever seen this model presented before?
Yes, you present it all the time, especially this picture.
Awesome. Yes. Okay, so this is based by Logos Bible Software. One of the co-founders was Michael Hauser, where he specifically was speaking about how the ancient Israelites believed the earth to be flat. And this was the cosmology that the Bible teaches.
Yes, that's one interpretation. But do you understand the difference between cosmology and cosmogony?
Yes, one is just interpretation and one is actual.
Oh, really?
The problem is you thinking it's interpretation. It's not interpretation, and I can show you how it's not interpretation.
Why are you trying to divine my thoughts?
You just said it's interpretation. Those were your words.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, the verbatim, it's your interpretation. That's what you said.
What? No, you said that. I didn't. I
No,
asked
that's
you,
what you said.
do you know the difference between cosmology and cosmogony?
And I said yes.
Yes. And I didn't say anything about interpretation. That was you.
Okay. Anyway.
No. Shall I quickly explain the difference to you, as it is known today?
Go ahead.
Okay. Cosmology refers to the systematic studies of your origin, evolution, etc. of the universe. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where science comes in. Science tends to address this by open questions, asking for who, what, where, when, why, and how.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmogony deals with the creation stories, the creation myth, about the origin of the universe and the world. Very different things. So while I agree with you that many of the Christians try to discuss about cosmology, they're really talking about cosmogony. So a few examples, Jan 2023, he talks about Hesiod's theogony. That's a cosmogony. Hires in 1984 released a paper talking about biblical account of creation in Genesis 1, and he called everything in Genesis 1, he called cosmogony. Another example is from Tyler 2015, the Byzantine chant that reflects
I don't
cosmogony
agree
as
with
well.
you though. I don't agree with you though. Genesis is not cosmogony. Do you know who wrote Genesis?
Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I asked about what are the biblical verses that cover cosmology.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking. Do you know who wrote Genesis?
No, nobody knows.
It was Moses.
Okay. Do we have evidence for that claim?
Yes. But we'll get to that now. The reason I'm telling you it's Moses, do you know that Moses spoke face to face with God?
I hear the story, yes.
And because he spoke face to face with God, God told him the cosmology.
No, he told him the cosmogony.
No, he told him how he created the earth. He told him how he literally created everything.
That's not cosmology.
The origin. You know what origin is? You know the word Bereshit.
No.
That's the first words in the Bible, Bereshit, in the beginning. That's an origin.
Yes. But
and the origin
cosmogony. It's not cosmology.
Cosmology
it's not a systematic study.
In the theories of origin is part of cosmology.
No.
Yeah. Because you claiming scientific endeavors to the cosmos. So that's cosmogony. I didn't say anything scientific about it. So it's not cosmogony.
It's around. Cosmology refers to the systematic study of the origin, evolution, and structure of the universe. That's cosmology. What you're talking about is cosmogony.
No, cosmogony is the scientific study of the origin of the cosmos. Cosmology is the study of the universe on large scale. No, I've got it on screen.
Cosmogony deals with the creation myth and stories. That's how science uses the word cosmogony. Science uses cosmology referring to the systematic studies of the origin, evolution, structure of the universe.
We're not talking about cosmogony because we're not talking science.
Exactly. So we're not talking about cosmology. Cosmogony
No,
is what you're
we're not
talking about.
talking.
That deals with
No,
the creation myth and
cosmogony is
the
science.
creation stories.
Cosmogony is
This is
science, mate.
hilarious.
You got this totally confused, mate.
I think you need to go and look at better sites than what you do. Present some evidence for your claim.
I got a
Not a
citation on
website, a scientific paper.
scientific. It's a definition. It's literally based on definitions, dude.
A definition.
And it's an
Hey, when you talk
education.
about citation, I presented citation. Don't find a random website with some definitions on it.
Are you telling me an education site is not a citation?
No, an education site is not a citation. No.
Edu.
A scientific
sites
paper
are
is a
not.
citation.
Again, science doesn't deal with cosmology. We are talking about cosmology. Okay? You understand it? So I'm not going to bring up a scientific citation for something that's not scientific. That's a category error.
Okay, you have some definitions up, right? Cosmology.
Now again, I'm going to
Can
explain
you
to
read
you.
that one out?
I'm going to try again to
I'm
explain
asking
to
you. You have up your page some definition, and it says cosmology. Can you read that one?
Okay, let me get up again. Cosmology, the study of the universe at its largest scales, including theories of its origins, its dynamics and evolution, and its future. That's the Bible, mate.
Yes. Study. Scientific study, cosmology.
No. Cosmogony is the scientific study of the origin of the cosmos.
No, it isn't.
There. Must zoom it in for you. Maybe you can't see. Cosmogony is scientific. Cosmology is not scientific.
Cosmology is the study of the universe in its largest scale, including the theories of its origin, its dynamics and evolution, and its future. That's the scientific study.
We just read it on screen. Now, I'm going to try and explain it again to you. Very simple. The reason it's not cosmogony is because it's actual historical narrative. Okay? It's not going into why or how. It's going into...
Let me check something with you. Was Moses around when the creation happened?
When God created... In the beginning... I'm going to say...
Was Moses around when the creation happened?
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Tell me what's scientific about it.
That's cosmology. That's a myth.
No. Tell me what's scientific about that, please.
You're doing exactly the same thing as you did in Wednesday night stream, where you fail to understand the difference between a point, a line, and a plane.
Hello. I asked you a simple question. In the beginning, God
I again present my citation. Do you want me to drop my citations in what is it?
Genesis 1.
Discord?
So I'm going to ask you again. Okay? We're going to read Genesis 1 together. This is the beginning of the Bible.
Yes,
okay?
That's cosmogony.
No, cosmology.
No,
now,
cosmogony.
I already showed you on screen. It's
cosmology.
Cosmology.
Fail to understand the science. I can drop the scientific papers in Discord if you want to. You can read them yourself.
Okay, I've got it on screen. We're going to read it together. In the beginning, that's Bereshit. Okay? God created the heavens and the earth. Where's science in that, please?
There is no science in that.
So it's cosmology, not cosmogony then. Okay.
No, cosmology is not cosmology.
Genesis 1 verse 2. And their earth, that's Eretz, was without form. That means it's not a globe, to let you know. And void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. Notice, face, your shape, your sphere can't have a shape. A face. And the Spirit
of your
God.
Face flat? That's it. Is your face flat?
No.
So not flat then? Thank you.
My face is not flat. A sphere doesn't have a face. But anyway,
Yes, a
like
sphere
I'm
does
putting
have a face.
the
Oh my
point,
God. The
you're
moon has a
obfuscating
face.
from the point. You're obfuscating from the point that's made here. Every verse you're reading through here, do you understand why this is cosmology and
Yes,
not cosmology?
exactly. Cosmogony. I dropped in Discord, I dropped three papers
You
for
just
you.
agreed
These
with
papers
me.
that I
You just
cited.
agreed with me that there was no science in these statements, so therefore not cosmogony.
Yes, but I disagree with you over your use of cosmogony versus cosmology. You've got it the wrong way around.
No,
Just like
you have. Okay,
like so often you have with.
Bring up your citation that says I got it wrong, please.
I have dropped in Discord 3 papers that cover the cosmogony of different religions, including Genesis 1.
We are talking about biblical cosmology. I don't care about other religions. Now, I'm asking you
That's
again.
fine. It
The
includes
definition
Genesis 1, like I said.
There's a set definition for
I
cosmogony.
have dropped in the
A set
Discord 3
definition
papers
for
for you, that ones
cosmology.
that I cited.
I brought it on screen for you, showing
I
you.
dropped in the Discord 3 papers that you can have a look at. One includes Genesis 1, and it talks about the cosmogony of Genesis 1.
Where did you DM them or?
In Discord general channel.
Discord general. Let me go look. Okay, 3. Okay, let's go to the first one. I'll have to copy and paste.
IS 1984, the narrative form of Genesis 1, cosmogonic, yes, scientific, no. So we agree that it's not scientific, we're just having a disagreement whether it is cosmogony or cosmology.
Okay, look here. The narrative from Genesis 1, cosmogonic, yes, okay. Scientific, no. So it goes against the definition of what cosmogony is and cosmology.
No, it goes against the definition that you showed. And the scientific definition is that cosmogony covers the myth and creation theory, whereas cosmology, which comes from logia, which is scientific.
Again,
so you switch them around for some
own
reason.
Citation disagrees with you. Okay? It says scientific, no.
Exactly. So not cosmology, it's cosmogony.
Cosmogony is scientific. Cosmogony is the scientific study of the origin of the cosmos itself. Do you know how to read, mate?
Your definition is wrong, mate. Read the paper. Read the paper again.
It's an educational site, and you're telling me my definition is wrong.
You've got a paper on screen at the moment saying cosmogonic, yes. Scientific, no. You got the definitions the wrong way around.
Okay, I've got it. Let's get some more for you. You're not going to believe Cora, so let's get LinkedIn. NASA, can I bring NASA up?
Why would I want to look at NASA? Show me a scientific paper. I showed you a scientific paper that clearly says cosmogonic, yes. Scientific,
no. Scientific. Sorry, do you even know what a scientific paper is? That's not a scientific paper, mate.
This is a scientific paper.
That is not a scientific paper.
Oh my God, it's from the Journal of American Scientific Affiliation.
It's not a scientific paper.
Oh my God. So now you're going to deny science.
The material cited the grace permission from blah, blah, blah. They get it from asa3.org. Ted Hildebrandt.
What are you talking about?
So anyway,
you found another website.
Can you see what I got on?
I presented a paper that clearly says cosmogony versus
cosmology. Do you even know how references work? It's in reference. It's got the reference on the bottom of the page you linked. Anyway, do you see this? This is from NASA. Okay. Let me get up. The designers of the cosmic chemistry model struggled. Should it be named cosmogony or cosmology? Cosmology is the study and structure and changes in the present universe, while the scientific field is cosmogony.
I disagree.
Are they wrong too?
I showed you a scientific paper that says cosmogony covers the myth and the creation stories.
Are
and you
you
can
really?
study that on a scientific level.
So I brought up two different citations now. You said they're both wrong. NASA being one of them,
Nice. You
education.com
showed
being
two
another one.
websites. That's
Okay,
not a citation.
bring another one up.
Show
Bring
me
another one up.
scientific papers.
I'm gonna bring up another one for you.
It's not a citation, Flatzoid. Do you understand that?
Do you know what a citation is?
Yes.
What's
A scientific paper that you use in the discussion in the elaboration of your
No, a
scientific
citation
theory.
doesn't have to be scientific. Just to let you know.
Yes, it does. In the discussion of biblical cosmology versus cosmology, yes, it does.
You know, I think you don't know what science is. What is science?
The systematic study of everything we see around us, using the scientific methods that are available. And you're wrong. As I defined before, cosmology is from logia, from knowledge. It's the scientific studies of what happened in the universe. Cosmogony deals with the myth of creation and the creation stories. I can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Say again.
Hello?
I can hear you. Go on.
Again,
Go on.
I'll tell you. Cosmology covers the scientific studies of the universe, and cosmology deals with the creation myth and creation stories. We can study that
Cosmology was a topic of particular interest. Cosmology was a topic of particular interest to those engaged in comparative religious studies at the end of the 19th century, in the early 20th century. While many of these old analyses are outdated, some of main arguments continues to influential Fraser, blah, blah, provided an easy entry point to James Fraser's Vitelli's early discussions of cosmology from the explicitly comparative perspectives.
Or another website. Or what is that?
Between cosmology. So the whole night, all we're going to do, guys, is this guy's going to tell me, I don't agree with you, and he doesn't bring anything up. While I bring everything up showing him wrong.
Oh, that's brilliant. I had to switch to my handphone to share this. So I shared with Discord and you say I don't bring anything?
Thank you, Ironworks, for your $20 super chat. He says, the branch of science that deals with the origin of the universe, especially the solar system. Today, essential questions of cosmology and cosmogony are being explored within the framework of the Big Bang Theory. Interesting stuff. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. So, again,
cool. Let's look at that. Why do people say that the Big Bang is cosmogony?
The Big Bang's not on chat tonight. We are talking about biblical cosmology.
You literally just talked it into your super chat. So I want to elaborate on that.
He's making a point.
Yes, and that point is worth discussing.
Do you know what his point is on that, though?
Yes, I understood it.
What's the
I
point
want to talk about contemporary cosmogony and talk with you about why we consider it cosmogony, the Big Bang.
Why?
Because the Big Bang is not cosmology.
I just asked you a very simple question. Do you know what his super chat is actually saying?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
He explained the difference. He explained that both cosmology and cosmogony are part of the Big Bang.
It's
among others.
Explored. Okay. So which one is the Big Bang?
Yes.
Cosmology or cosmogony?
Cosmogony.
Cosmogony. Oh, because it's scientific background.
No.
You just said cosmogony.
Because we cannot verify that the cosmology of cosmology is what we're dealing with at the moment. So science sees that we see the redshift of the stars. We can measure that. We can observe that, and we have theories about it. We can then extrapolate those theories towards the Big Bang, but we can never test the Big Bang. We can never verify whether or not it's true or not. It's a theory. So therefore, it's part of the cosmogony, not cosmology.
So you know that's science. Science is testing things, correct? But I'm glad you realize that Big Bang's not scientific.
Cosmology.
I'm very happy about that.
The Big Bang is still scientific, except it deals with contemporary cosmogony, not cosmology.
Ah, cosmogony. Well done. You're finally getting it. So science cosmogony, not science cosmology.
Exactly. And that's what I've been saying from the start.
No,
Cosmology
you've been saying
deals with
opposite.
the scientific aspects. Oh my God, do I need to start off again?
This is live. It's recorded. Literally,
I know.
I brought 3 different
And what I
citations.
said from the start, cosmology refers to the systematic study of the origin, evolution, and structure of the universe. Cosmogony specifically deals with the creation myths and stories that explain the origin of the universe. And or the world, if you don't want to use the word universe. The citations that I brought up, 3, clearly talk about cosmogony and clearly explain how the creation stories are cosmogony, not cosmology. And I agree that includes the Big Bang. It's a creation story that we cannot verify.
Okay. Now, like I said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay. That's a historical
Yes.
narrative. You would agree?
No, it's not an historical narrative.
What's not historical about
It's
it?
a story that's been written down. It's a story that's been written down by somebody who didn't observe the creation happening. We can only, just like I said, it's cosmology, it's cosmogony that describes what we think happened at our creation.
You know, you just made a claim that
So
when we're
historical,
reading in
but not
Genesis,
history.
wait. You just made a claim that we're reading in Genesis, which is a historical narrative. It's not historical. Do you know that? You just made that claim.
I disagree that it's a historical narrative. I agree that it tries to explain the history, the creation of the universe.
Okay. You know, I think let's put it this way. I understand you're not a Christian, okay? And you don't believe the God of the Bible created the heaven and the earth. But this debate is about biblical cosmology. It doesn't care about your belief system, even if you were an atheist or any other religious. The thing is, we're debating biblical cosmology. So based on the Bible,
Yes.
Genesis
cosmology
1
is a systematic study. Where is the
Genesis
systematic
1,
study of the universe in the Bible?
Genesis 1 verse 1 is very specific. Does it say, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth?
Yes.
Great. So that's a
Does that make
historical
it a systematic
narrative.
study of the origins of the universe?
No science. There's no science behind that. It's just a
Nobody's
statement.
talking about science. I'm talking about systematic studies.
Science is systematic study. So anyway, we just established.
So you can't do systematic studies in the Bible?
Can I finish? In the beginning, we established in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Now we can move on to the next part. Okay? So there was a beginning. It was God. And in the beginning, God created everything we know. Okay. So therefore, cosmology. Now we move on to Genesis.
No, cosmogony. I
No,
disagree with you on the term.
we brought up 3 different sites, the same definition, saying the same thing. Even you just
and I
agreed
showed
with
you 3 papers. And I showed you 3 papers. I showed you 3 papers that disagree with your use of cosmology. It's cosmogony.
Okay, I'm going to move on. You agreed with me 2 minutes ago the difference between cosmogony and cosmology. Now you're saying you disagree with me when you literally just agreed with me.
I have from the start disagreed with you about how you use the word cosmology. I've explained to you that that's cosmogony. And I showed you 3 papers that support my argument.
Okay, then show
me. So if you want to counter that, you will need to show me 3 scientific papers.
I've got another way. Show me Genesis 1 verse 1, how it is cosmogony, please.
The paper that I shared, Hayes, 1984.
Sorry?
You had it on screen before, and it said clearly cosmogony.
I'm asking you, Genesis 1 verse 1, show me how it is cosmogony.
You can read all about it in the paper that I shared, Hayes, 1984, a biblical account of creation.
Dude,
cosmogony, yes.
This is
Cosmology,
not
no.
how debates work. You made a claim. I'm telling you to back up your claim based on Genesis 1 verse 1. Okay? Show me how it is based on cosmogony of your definition, please.
Again, cosmology specifically deals with the creation myth and creation stories that explain the origin of the universe. Genesis 1 is one of those stories. We cannot verify it, we cannot apply science to it. Therefore, it's part of cosmogony. Again, you can read it in the paper that I shared with you, Higher 1984, that you showed on screen.
Do you understand that Genesis 1 verse 1 is not anything got to do with scientific explanation or thing? It's just a statement. It's literally a statement. It just says.
Exactly. That's what I just said.
Listen. It's just a
We
statement.
cannot apply scientific to it.
Why don't you let me talk, man? The statement is very simple. It's just telling you, in the beginning, there was a God, and this God created the heaven and earth. That is it. It's not telling you how, not telling you why, not telling you anything other than God was there and he did it. You understand that statement?
Yes, I do. And we merely disagree about the reason you saying it's cosmology and me saying cosmogony.
So how does that explain the origins of the universe or anything else other than just God made a statement, he created?
Again, I'll say it again. Cosmogony deals with the creation myths and stories that we cannot verify anymore.
Okay, I can verify this to be true. You know how?
Go for it. That's what I've been asking. Show me the systematic studies that are discussed in the Bible.
If we didn't exist, how are we having this conversation?
If we didn't exist, are we having this conversation? Can you try to rephrase that?
If we didn't exist, how are we having this debate right now? In other words, we had to be created by the statement we just read. God was there in the beginning. He created the heaven and earth, which would include us. So therefore, by fact, we are here able to track, we exist, means that statement holds truth.
So that's in essence the reification fallacy, right?
Sorry?
That's in essence the reification fallacy, right?
Yeah, it would count as a reification fallacy, but it's also based on ontological primitives, which is not a reification fallacy, which means it's not circular reasoning. Do you know what the ontological
primitives that you're talking about? Can you explain them?
Yeah, I'll get to the ontological primitive now. I just want to say thank you, Roger Little, for your $2 super chat. He says, hold him to the method to make him show his claims. Yep, we're going to be doing that. Thank you for your super chat, Matt. Okay, so the ontological primitives. I'm going to set up a very basic scenario for you. You're walking across a beach and you see a sand castle, a beautiful, magnificent sand castle with a lot of intricacy and structure. There's only two ways that the sand castle would appear there. Option one, someone actually by purpose created that sand castle that way. The other way is the sandcastle just popped out of nothing by itself. So nature created itself. Now, which one is more logical, plausible? Someone created it, or it created itself?
Based on the observations that I've seen many humans build sandcastles, I would assume that the sandcastle was built by a human.
Great. Yes, exactly. So you would understand that's not circular reasoning then?
That's not an ontological primitive.
It is an ontological primitive. Now I'm going to try and tie it into.
It's a logical argument.
Now I'm going to explain it to you why Genesis 1 is based on the ontological primitives. Okay? Can I do that?
Go ahead.
Okay. We observe everything in nature, in reality, always have some kind of creational structure towards it. So therefore, it has to be created by someone. God claiming to be the creator of heaven, earth, and us solidifies that statement. So therefore not.
Where does God claim that he is the creator? Where does he claim that?
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That you do know that
That's
God
your
said
Bible
that.
saying that, right? That's the book. No, that's the book
The
saying
debate
that.
is biblical.
And
The
you
debate
agree
is
that the Bible has changed over time, so you can't fully trust the Bible.
The Bible is based on biblical. The debate is biblical cosmology. We are debating the Bible, the biblical narrative.
Yes.
It doesn't worry about
But
your opinions
you
or your.
can't show me where God
We are
said it.
literally. Please stay
You
on
have to
topic.
take
Stay on
certain information.
topic. Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
I am on topic.
No, you're not.
You appeal to the Bible to claim that you have cosmology.
Appealing
You
to
can't
the
do that.
Bible in a biblical
It's
discussion. Oh my word! Yeah, that's usually how it works.
Yes, but it's not cosmology, as we already mentioned.
You haven't shown it not to be cosmology yet. You've just made a claim it's not.
No, you made a claim that it is, and I don't have to defend the negative. You have to defend your claim.
I brought up 3 different definitions for you. They all said the
I
same
brought up
thing.
3 papers that all say it, and scientific papers beat silly websites.
Okay.
Do you mind defining what an ontological primitive is?
Can you read what it says up on top there at that BC? Yeah, where it says this. Can you see this? biblicalcosmology.org. Do you know why it says that?
Yes, because it's a Christian website that doesn't like to be ranked as a cosmogony, and therefore hides the fact that it tries to say it's a cosmology.
Okay, I'm going to quickly read
the real science, they will say it's cosmogony.
I'm going to quickly read
so again,
you.
I'm going to read you. Citing a source that is a website that is idiotic. You need to go into the science.
Okay, this is something I got up for you, okay? These are Christians, the Christian scholars and the atheist scholars are brought up for Peter Markley when we had our debate. Okay?
Yes.
I want you to read very specific words in here. Paul H. Seeley. Seeley is known for his work in ancient near. Can I finish my sentence? Seeley is known for his work
All
in
I was saying that I cannot see what you're talking about. I only see the silly picture.
I'm still talking.
I know, I'm also still talking. I can only see the little landing page.
I am busy talking in a statement, so you can wait two minutes so I
can
finish my statement.
Can you listen for a moment?
I am talking. You have to be listening to me. I'm busy talking, so you listen to me.
I cannot see what you're talking about. I only see the landing page.
I was busy giving a statement. So please do yourself
a favor. If I could see what you're saying about.
I know this is difficult for you. Show some restraint and let me
finish my statement. For you to listen and only want to talk. I'm only saying that I cannot see what you're talking about.
And I'm more than happy to let you give yours, but let me just finish mine.
Can you take a breath? Can you take a breath? You wanted me to read something and I cannot see it.
He is known.
Can you take a breath? Flatzoid, take a breath.
Sorry, guys, I've muted him so I can actually make my statement. Unfortunately, I have to treat him like a child because he refuses to be the PhD candidate he claims to be. So, PhD candidate, can you stop talking so you can actually listen to my statement? Then I am more happy to listen to yours, but let me finish my statement, please. Okay, let's try this again. And you're unmuted. Seeley is known for his work on ancient Near Eastern cosmology. In his articles, he has argued that the biblical cosmology, including reference to the firmament, which is Rakia in Genesis 1, reflects a belief in a solid sky and a flat earth. He suggests that the biblical writers shared a common ancient Near Eastern worldview, which included a flat earth. John H. Walton. But I'm going to read through all of them, and I want you to understand why they're always talking about cosmology and not cosmogony. Okay? I'm not going to read through all of them, just like you can read on screen. Peter Enns talks about biblical cosmology and other Near Ancient Hebrew Eastern cosmologies. Michael Hauser, exactly the same. When you move over to the atheist scholars, exactly the same. Hector Havalos talks about biblical cosmology. Oh. Richard Carrier talks about biblical cosmology. Christopher Hitchens, biblical cosmology. Michael Shermer, biblical cosmology. So now you can talk, and then you can explain to us how all of these guys, all these, how can I put it, scholars that actually have their PhDs are wrong.
Are you ready to listen now?
Are you going to answer me?
Are you ready to listen now? Why are you answering a question with a question?
I was making a statement. You were over talking me, so I made my statement finished, and this is when you're supposed to rebut my statement.
Yes. Are you ready to listen? What was I saying when I tried to interject? What was I saying?
I was making a statement which you were rudely over talking.
What was I saying when I tried to interject, Flatzoid? Can you have some normal decency?
Are you going to make your statement or not?
Yes. Are you ready to listen? You've just wasted several minutes of time by not listening to what I was saying. I was merely saying that I could not see what you were talking about. I only saw a little picture of the landing page of the biblical cosmology site that you had.
It doesn't matter.
I can't hear you.
It doesn't matter if you didn't see it. You had to listen what I was saying.
You were saying that you wanted me to read something.
No, I'm saying I'm going to read it for you so you can hear what they're all saying.
Okay. What's the site of that one?
It's not a site.
Where did you get that site?
It's compiled data from the people that wrote and studied the subject.
Where is that source?
You know what I'm going to do?
What source was that?
You know what I'm going to do? Go and look it up in your own time, because I don't have time to sit here for 3 hours or 10 hours to show you every
We agreed
person.
that we would only talk for about an hour and 40 minutes, so don't bullshit. Show me the source of that data that you talked about.
Really
What's the source?
Stop acting like a baby. Be the PhD candidate you claim to be and act like one.
Again, okay? I'm going to ask you for the source of the information that you talked about. What is that?
I will send you all the people's names, and you can go and research them yourself after the debate. Is that fine? Because I don't have time now to educate you on every single.
In that case, I don't have anything to say about what you talked about. I cannot verify what you mentioned.
Because just because you don't have knowledge on these scholars doesn't mean it's off topic. It just means you don't have knowledge on it. Just like you don't have knowledge on the Bible, yet you want to debate me on the Bible. It's not smart, mate. It's like trying to come into a gunfight with a little pea.
Do you mind showing what we agreed upon the topic was? Can you show from Discord? Do you mind showing us what the topic of this discussion was? Can you show what we shared on Discord?
Cosmology, it's in there. Biblical cosmology debate.
Can you pull up Discord, show the DM, and show what topic I suggested?
Biblical cosmology.
I suggested a friendly chat about biblical cosmology with a focus on the portals of heaven, just as I mentioned at the opening.
So that's what we're discussing. What's your problem?
No, we're not. Where are we discussing about the portals of heaven?
We're still getting there. You are not understanding. You're literally telling me that what I'm telling you is not what is literally shown on screen.
I have shared 3 citations about what cosmology is. You showed, 2 websites and a biblical scholar website?
I think let's do it this way.
So this is a useless time. Let's talk about the portals of heaven. What can we learn from the portals of heaven? How do they work? I didn't agree to on the debate. I only wanted to have a friendly chat.
Okay, you want portals of heaven?
Go for it.
The
What does
windows
the
of
Bible say
heaven,
about the portals of heaven?
the floodgates of the firmament that let rain down to flood the earth. Genesis 7:11a2. They can be a sign of distress as well. Isaiah 24:18, or blessing, Malachi 3:10. What more do you want to know about it?
Is that all that's in the Bible about
That's
the
in the
portals of
Bible.
heaven?
Those
You
are all in the
mentioned
Bible.
that the sun, that is that everything that's in the Bible about it. I'm not asking you all in the Bible.
What
You mentioned that the
specifically?
portals of heaven.
Sorry. Can you be specific? What exactly about the portals of heaven do you want to know so I can explain it to you?
Everything that's in the Bible.
I just literally gave you a
Oh,
summary of
no.
it in 2 seconds.
So there is, what is it, 3 verses?
Okay, I'm gonna make it very simple for you. Let me close this quickly. Just this. You can see on screen this whole model there. This thing here, this is the firmament. Okay, it's a
Yes.
solid rakia, as the Bible puts it. Rakia would be a firmament. Okay, that's solid. It's an expanse, a solid expanse.
What part in that picture do you think is the firmament?
This whole black, you see this thing where it says firmament? This whole thing, this like
The whole thing,
thing
it says water above the firmament, so that's not solid. There is
the
clouds which
firmament
are not
is
solid, the sky is not solid. Where is the firmament? That black thing?
Yeah, that black
The
thing
black
was the firmament.
circle? Okay. Now, in an
Yeah.
earlier discussion, I heard you talk about the portals, where the sun goes in and out, and the moon as well.
Sorry, that's Enoch, by the way. But let's first go to Rakia. This is what the firmament is. This is the root word for firmament. Okay?
Okay.
Do you know what root words are?
Yes, I do know what root words are.
Okay. So root word for firmament. Extended solid firmament expanse. Okay? It's the vault of heaven supporting the waters above. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So, if you have to understand, if you can like take a how can I put it? A glass dome. I'm not saying it is glass, but let's say a glass bowl and you turn it upside down. That would practically be what you're seeing on screen there. This would be a upside down glass bowl.
So just a moment. You're saying that the portals of heaven that are used by the sun and the moon are not biblical?
The sun and the moon are in the firmament.
I'm talking about the portals that I mentioned before. The portals of heaven that the sun and the moon use.
Show me scripture where the sun goes through portals, please.
I'm asking you. Oh, God, man. You're triggered. I'm asking you.
Show me
are
scripture.
The portals of heaven that...
Show me scripture. Because you made a claim that the sun and the moon are passing through those portals, correct?
No, I didn't. I asked you. You mentioned before that... Can I finish a sentence? I'm trying to clarify to you. Can I make a sentence? I asked you whether or not, what book did you mention? Where is there a place in the Bible that talks about the portals of heaven that the sun and the moon use?
No,
I'm not saying that it does. Sorry, go for it.
The Bible says the sun and the moon are in the firmament. You're thinking about the book of Enoch.
So where does this idea from the portals of heaven then come from?
You're thinking the book of Enoch.
What is that? Is that not part of the Bible?
No, it's not biblical canon.
So what is it then?
It's scripture based on the Orthodox, Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, but it's not biblical canon because they didn't see it as biblical canon. So it's not biblical book. We are debating the biblical cosmology. So therefore,
in that case, let's forget about the portals of heaven and discuss about your firmament.
Listen. So therefore, Enoch is not even in the discussion. But we can bring Enoch into the discussion because it even makes it even worse for your globe if you wanted to base
You're
it on that
starting
as well.
to a robot.
Enoch is not biblical canon. Can we stick to biblical canon? Because the debate is about biblical canon, biblical cosmology, please. Thanks for your super chat, Roger. He says, Flatzoid's
can't
calm
hear you at all.
down, so it'll be all right. Remember, you told me in the beginning you don't know anything about the Bible. And it's clearly seen. I don't know why you want to come in a debate with a subject that you have absolutely no knowledge on. So are we actually going to get to biblical cosmology debate, or are you going to just do what you're doing the whole night? And he's dropped. We'll see if he's going to come back now. This is embarrassing. Well, just in case he doesn't come back, what do you guys have to say? Jesuit candidate.
He lost all credibility that he ever could have had as soon as he said, "What's the Book of Enoch? Is that not in the Bible?" Zero
Exactly.
knowledge of the topic. He shouldn't even be here. Zero knowledge.
Is he okay, he's back. Okay, I'll let you guys in afterwards again. Okay.
Something went wrong with the internet?
No stress. Okay, so my whole point was, again, why do you come into a debate that you have no knowledge on?
I did not agree upon a debate. Let's be clear about that first. I suggested a friendly chat to talk about this. I wanted to learn, as I mentioned already, about the biblical cosmology in relation to the portals of heaven. Now you're arguing that the portals of heaven is not part of the biblical cosmology. That's fine.
No, the portals
Let's
of heaven
move on
is
then.
biblical. The portals of heaven is biblical, but the sun and moon don't travel through the portals. That's not biblical.
Okay,
They
so what
travel
do
a
you call then
circuit-
where the
they
sun and moon
travel-
travel through?
They travel a circuit inside the firmament.
So where does this idea come from, the portals being used, that the sun and moon disappear into the portals?
That's the book of Enoch.
Okay. And you don't use that one. You don't adhere to the book of Enoch?
It's not biblical.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you,
I
you
do
adhere?
like the book. I do actually like the book of Enoch, and I think the book of Enoch is something every Christian should read, but it's not biblical canon. No, it's not part of the Bible.
So how much faithfulness do you put in that book of Enoch then? Do you
Again,
accept what's stated in it?
Sorry. You want to talk about the Bible, and you want to bring now another book that is not biblical into the discussion. You want me to teach you biblical cosmology, yet you're telling me everything I'm saying is wrong, but you don't know yourself what's going on. Does that make sense?
Yes, in the way that I suggested, to have a friendly chat about biblical cosmology and the portals of heaven. It wasn't a debate. You decided to make it a debate. You didn't share any information.
Okay, all I've done all night is explain to you how you don't have knowledge on the subject. That's all I've been doing. But anyway, okay.
All I've done is say that I don't have knowledge of the subject. I wanted to have a friendly chat.
If we look at the firmament again, okay, there is what they call the
Yes,
windows of
back to the
heaven.
firmament.
That would be the portals, okay? Do you know Noah's flood?
Yes.
Do you know how Noah's flood happened, where all the water came from?
No.
Came through the firmament, through the portals or windows of heaven and underground, from the deep, the great deep, and from the waters above. That's how the earth.
What can you do? What do you call them? The windows of heaven?
Sorry?
Is that what you call them? The windows of heaven or the doors of heaven or the portals of heaven? Which is it?
Same thing. Some translations say portals, some translations say windows. It's the same thing. It's literally just stands for open. It means it's an opening in the firmament.
How should you study those windows or portals?
Thank you, PJ Cruikshank, for your £5 super chat. He said, I thought this was about biblical cosmology. Man's ill prepared. Exactly. Thank you for your super chat, man. You rock.
That's
Okay, I'm
brilliant, because I never agreed to a debate about it. I never claimed that I knew anything about it.
I'm going to bring that up again.
So you have misinformed your followers by saying that it's a debate.
Let's click on this. See, it says the windows of heaven. The floodgates of the firmament that is rained down on the flood. That's Genesis 7:11. That's Noah's flood.
So again, I cannot see what you're talking about. What source are you using?
Probably just slow. You know, I'm going to actually send you the link. Then you can go and look at it in your own time as well. Will that be fair?
Is it again the biblicalcosmology.org?
It gives you all the references. It gives you all the references.
Okay, explain to me, what is your main source of information? Is that a website?
Yeah, Logos. This is logos.org. BibleCosmology.org. It's based on Logos. Michael
So it's a website.
Remember?
Not a scientific paper, not a...
Oh, my word. You see, guys, this is the issue I have with people like this. I didn't want to debate. I just want to learn. Every time I open my mouth, oh, it's not science. Oh, it's not a scientific paper. No, it's not scientific. How dare you use this? Sorry. If you want to learn... Sorry, Mr. Ill-informed, the guy that has no knowledge on the subject, can you just shut your mouth for 5 seconds and actually let the person that does have knowledge on the subject teach you like you wanted to have to be taught? So since this is not a debate, you want the teacher to teach you. It does help if you shut that pile of yours and let me teach you. Capiche?
Brilliant. Again, go back to what are your main sources of information? Website.
Dr. Michael Hauser, Paul H. Healy, John H. Walton, Peter Enns, Hector Avalos, Richard Carrier, Christopher Hitchens, Michael Shermer, the Bible. Need more?
Do you think you can do a systematic study of the Bible?
Yes.
Cool. So that would be what?
Dude, I've been a Christian
Cosmology.
most of my life. Wait, I've been a Christian most of my life. I've read through the Bible many times, okay? Usually that means you study the things you read.
Reading through something? No, it does not usually mean.
Have you ever read the Bible before?
Yes.
Have you?
I don't think to have studied it.
What does John 3:16 say? What does John 3:16 say?
I don't know. I don't care.
So you haven't read the Bible because that's the most common, most used Bible verse by even non-Christians.
Flatzoid, do you have newspapers at home? Do you read newspapers?
No, I don't need newspapers. I got the internet. It's all
okay.
digital.
Do you read your news about the world?
No,
online?
I don't read news. It's propaganda. I don't need to read news.
Oh my God, this is pathetic. What website did you visit a week ago?
Sorry?
What were the main websites that you visited a week ago?
What has that got to do with what we're talking about?
Because you can read something but not study it.
I can prove.
I have read the Bible, but I don't study it. I don't.
Okay.
Sorry?
What books of the Bible have you read?
I have read through the Bible. I have not studied it.
Okay. What was your favorite book that you read through?
A favorite book? I read through the Bible. I didn't study it, so I don't have a favorite book. I don't care what John whatever says.
Did you read Genesis, Leviticus,
Yes.
Deuteronomy, Timothy, Titus,
Yes.
Job,
Yes.
Revelation?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so which one did you read the most? Let's go that one. Which book out of the Bible did you read the most?
I can't remember. I don't care.
Okay, which one stands
the Bible is just a book.
Which book of the Bible stands the most out to you that you read?
To me, the one about the fleece. What is that? Job or something?
Job. What's the book
What's
of
the one
Job
about the fleece?
Sorry?
I don't know. I don't care. I can't remember. What was the story about the fleece where the guy put it out in the weather, and the fleece was dry and the surrounding area was wet? That's the one that I remember.
I can't hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What did you say?
I'm talking about the story about the fleece where the guy asked God for guidance, and he used a fleece, threw it out on the grass, and the grass was wet, and the fleece was dry, and vice versa.
I can't hear you really, but okay. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, dude, you don't know the subject you're talking about. You don't know anything about the Bible, yet you want to discuss the Bible. And then
I wanted to have a friendly chat about the Bible.
When you want me to explain things of the Bible, you laugh and you overtalk me and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Literally, when you ask me to explain things to you.
I literally only disagree with you about your use of the word cosmology versus cosmogony. And I showed you
You
clear
agreed with
signs.
me. You literally agreed with me. At the end of the day, you agreed with me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I still strongly disagree with you.
And you just like Peter Markley, disagree with all the scholars on the subject. They have actual doctorates and things on the subject, and you telling me they're wrong.
I only disagree with you about the use of cosmogony versus cosmology.
I don't care if you agree or not agree. You don't agree. You don't agree with definitions of words. You don't agree with biblical scholars. Not my problem. That's your issue. We are here to discuss biblical cosmology.
Not agreeing with biblical scholars?
We are here to discuss biblical cosmology, not your misunderstanding what cosmogony and cosmology is. Okay.
So rather than make up silly voices and moan and whine about it.
Thank you. Thank you, no longer on the ball for your $5 super chat. Great example of how our education system has failed us. PhD, get a refund. I totally agree. Thank you, Roger Ledwell, for your $5 super chat. He says, I am a man of the world, and all I need is a beautiful girl. Thank you, Roger, for your super chat. Really appreciate it. So since we're not having a debate, can I let the panel members in a discussion with them? So, guys, since there's no debate, I'm letting you guys in. The guys that have the links, you are more than able to come in, and you can talk to him yourself. Because I've tried. There we go. How's it, Joe?
Yeah, well, I mean, there was one thing on my mind. Since he failed the Bible quiz, can I get a Bible quiz?
Oh, he's left.
He didn't want to hang out.
Yeah, he hung up again. Maybe he lost reception. I don't know. We'll see. But the thing is, was I being unfair to the guy?
I mean, I didn't even watch half of it. I just came in the past like 5 minutes or like 15 minutes, whatever.
So yeah, guys, I'm putting the link in the restream for you guys as well if you guys want to come in. Yeah, my thoughts was the guy came under false pretense, and he thought he actually knew what he was talking about. In the meantime, he knew, as usual, sweet bugger all.
Yeah, I don't think his papers were really scientific, neither. By definition.
Yeah, he came ill prepared, man. I thought it was about.
Can I get
Sorry about that. I was too well again.
I mean, I could hardly hear the dude, but I could tell he wasn't doing well.
I think he's back. Is he back?
He's back.
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
Wait. I want to point out it's the Journal of American Scientific Affiliation, so it's not a scientific journal.
And his study that he's trying.
Scientific journal, dude.
Sorry, scientific affiliation. Do you know what affiliation means?
It's the name of a journal. Do you know what the name of a journal means?
Sorry, why you keep asking me questions when I asked you a question?
What question did you ask?
Do you know what affiliation means?
Yes, I know what affiliation means.
Yeah. Great.
Do you? What do you know? What do you think?
When you get full of shit.
Do you know what the
I'm waiting for you to tell us what it is.
Are they? What was an affiliation? That was the question. He put it to you 3 times now.
Who's Philo?
You asked me if I know it. I said yes.
Do you know what it is? So that entails PhD candidate that's really not showing to be bright. Tell us what affiliation means, please.
Affiliation is a group of people that are affiliated. Okay, you don't want an answer. Okay.
Don't do a
We're waiting.
FTFE on us, please.
The Journal of the American Scientific Affiliation is the name of a journal.
I asked
We
you
got that.
not the name of the journal.
W name, by the way, Nate.
It is. What is it? Good? I gotta see this.
And I want to ask you another question. Anybody here? Is religion scientific?
No.
Well, hold on. I could argue that maybe it is, but it would only be my opinion, right?
Then it's not
And
scientific.
you're entitled to such, sir. Yeah.
Because remember, pseudoscience is based on person's opinions and beliefs. Science
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
has
saying.
no-
I would have to be using my opinion or making it up. Yeah, I don't have any evidence for it.
This is why I laugh at people that study philosophy of science, which is this is a philosophy of science paper you brought up. Doesn't
mean
make
pseudoscience?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Wait. It's called pseudoscience.
Yes.
Flatzoid, what in the name of God are you talking about?
That is science denial, man. That's science denial.
Science denial. Here we go. Science denial.
Okay, guys.
Flatzoid, what are you talking about, though? Like, I actually
name
don't
a
agree with
fundamental of
that.
science, and we'll tell you if we agree with it. How about that?
We're talking about the philosophy of science.
Okay, guys, we can't all overtalk each other, though. Okay,
Go ahead.
Joe, yeah. First of all, pseudoscience is based on your opinions and beliefs of what science is. Science is just an empirical method. As soon as you bring opinions and belief into it, then it's pseudoscience. It's no longer science.
Boom.
I don't think that's the definition, though.
That is the definition.
Well,
Definition
because
of
the definition of
pseudoscience-
pseudoscience is like an opinion. That's what it is.
No, he's
Yeah,
talking
because
about just the actual science.
Because you're
definition.
making it subjective, not objective. Or which one is it? Objective, subjective.
That's
Either
why
way,
that's why Christians that like try to appeal to science and such don't really have a good time debating.
So Flatzoid, you have
But their main issue is that it's
Exactly.
natural theology. That's their main issue. Is that it's natural theology, which isn't the proper way to argue for it. That's the real issue. So it's not that they're using science, which is all bad. No, it's that even if their claims about the natural world are true, that doesn't mean that the principles that got them there are true or even justified, which is
exactly
which is what you're trying to argue for.
Look, the thing
not an
is, it was
all-inclusive thing.
Christians who made it was Christians who made the scientific method up because they needed an empirical way to prove things. Okay, but it was their way of showing.
What?
Okay, you have to take. Yes.
Yes, they did.
Did you not know this?
I know that there was already science being done well before the Christians in Arabia.
No, there wasn't. No, that's a lie. Okay, what you're talking about science in the way that Aristotle would talk about it and people back in the day. Well, not really Aristotle, because the word science comes from Latin, right? So not Aristotle, but if you read Aristotle's works in English, they talk about like the science of economics, the science of ethics, the science of this. What they're talking about is just any discipline, any study. So the word science used to refer to any endeavor that would bring about knowledge, because science translates to knowledge, right? Science of knowledge. Then what happened is that later on, the word became more narrow in its definition until nowadays, where science refers to study of the natural world using the scientific method. So like you can't say that, oh well, this guy said the word science way back in 2500 BC, therefore they were doing the science that we do today. No, it was completely different.
Can you tell me the root word for science?
Really?
Yeah, so there was no modern science being done before like the time of Christ.
No
Definitely
shit,
not.
Sherlock. Holy cow. Modern science. Yes, exactly.
That's
Can
what you
tell me the
said. You're
root
saying
word for
science. What do you mean when you say science? Do you mean any endeavor that brings about knowledge?
No. Any endeavor that brings about wisdom.
So then my point stands and you're wrong.
Bingo.
No, I don't.
You don't know what you're talking about, dude. You don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know the difference between knowledge and wisdom?
Sure, but how does that help in this conversation?
Because the root word of science is wisdom. Throw around a random
Why are you always
fallacy.
laughing at everything?
This guy
It wasn't
is like,
even me. It wasn't even me that said the fallacy. It was Roger. Just like, come on.
I never said it
Okay,
was
so
you that
can
said
you
the
can you
fallacy.
stay on the point? Also, okay, so can you show me the people before the time of Jesus Christ doing the scientific method? Can you please show me that?
Yes, Aristotle. There is a whole
Aristotle
bunch of
did
them.
not. Aristotle was
That were
using a different
pursuing
mode of
wisdom.
reasoning. You don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, so one of the main contributors to the scientific method was a guy called Sir Francis Bacon, and he wrote his book, right? Nova Morganum,
Now you're
his
trying to
new
move from
instrument,
science to the
and it's
scientific
a play on Aristotle's work called the organon, which means the instrument. The reason why is because Aristotle used a different mode of logic than him, so he was going away from the Aristotelian style of logic. So that's what the modern scientific method, part of it is inherited from that. So no, Aristotle was not even in the correct mode of logical reasoning than what science would be. So no, Aristotle was not doing that.
Aristotle at the time was way ahead of the others in his way in pursuit of wisdom.
Sorry. When was Aristotle? What century was Aristotle?
Like the 300s in BC. He was around the time of Alexander the Great because he was his mentor.
Aristotle versus modern science? Yes, of course, they're not going to miss.
I can barely hear this guy.
In the 14th, is the 14th and the 15th century when Aristotle was around in 300?
In 300, in the 300s BC, yeah.
So 14th and 15th century. Aristotle must be a time traveler, guys.
He is. Eternal. Do we have any physical evidence this guy even existed, or is this just something they created?
No, we don't.
No.
Wow.
Sir Francis Bacon also wrote the New Atlantis as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He did. I mean, like, we could have a talk about him, but we're dealing with this guy here.
Yeah. I just want to clear up my fallacy right quick. Can I clear up that wisdom is actually applied knowledge? Can I say this right quick?
Stop over-talking everybody, please. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but wisdom is applied knowledge. Wisdom is applied knowledge. That's how you develop wisdom. It's developed from the scientific method. That's how you develop wisdom. I don't see how that's the root of it.
Yeah.
You can rebut that if you want to.
Yeah.
Knowledge is you witnessing life. Wisdom is you witnessing life after and thinking about it logically.
Pretty much. RPGs display wisdom perfectly. RPG.
Also, by the way, can I just ask, like, what the hell does like any of this have to do with the Bible? By the way,
and biblical cosmology.
Like, I mean, we're sitting here debating like the history of philosophy right now when we could be talking about like the scriptures.
I can ask you a question.
But you see, the issue is why we can't go to scriptures, Joe, is because PhD, the guy that actually wants to talk about it, doesn't know anything about scriptures.
Well, and it's just denying things.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, PhD. Go ahead.
Flatzoid, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
When did Aristotle live? You mentioned the 14th and the 15th century?
In the 300s BC, that's when he lived, around the time of classical Greece, and he was the mentor to Alexander the Great.
You asked the question.
I just gave you quite a good answer, man.
And you didn't listen to it.
I asked Flatzoid a question.
Listen to it.
Yeah,
My
well, who
answer is
cares? You're going to
300.
get the right answer from me. You're going to get the answer from me.
Yeah, but it's fine. I did answer him
Okay, so you
300.
don't care, then it's a waste of time. Thank you. Bye.
Remember, PhD, I just brought up something for you 2 minutes ago on screen. Maybe you can see that as well, where science only came in the 16th century. Philosophy of
There we
natural
go.
philosophy started the 14th and 15th
There
century.
we go.
Okay, and the scientific method only came in the 17th.
He left.
Did he run away? Oh,
No,
God.
maybe-
I wanted
We
to
have a
say
runner.
is that why would he bring up Aristotle and say Aristotle's the worst
Because
one?
he doesn't.
He assumed
Yeah.
he assumed the distance of the sun. Like
didn't prepare well.
his most famous work.
There was
isn't
no
even
such.
real.
You see, these guys just regurgitate people like FFE and McToon and say science, where they don't know sweet bugger all.
Yeah.
He's
They
reading the
know
script.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
didn't
also
prepare
he
for
was
this.
being very slippery because when I pinned him down, he was like, no, I'm not meaning modern science, I'm meaning this, and then he slipped to some other definition as well.
Yeah.
Super
Sweet
chat.
Fanny Adams, it was not about biblical cosmology. He came ill prepared, hence the super chat. It was just he said I'm sure he said like he studied the Bible, but then he says no, I never studied it. I just read it. So why are you saying you studied it?
Yeah, but
He read through it.
Also, when I ask him, okay, what books have you read? He can't tell me. And then
Yeah,
when I ask him, okay,
exactly.
what's your favorite
Or the
part
one with the story that said this.
with the
I
red
can't
grass?
remember all the names of the books I read,
I
but I
wanna know
mean,
what red grass.
I think I heard him
I
say
heard-
Job, but that's the only
No,
reason people know
I heard
Job
him
is
say red
because-
grass. That's all I could hear. Does
Red
anybody know
grass?
what red grass?
red grass, red grass.
I heard something about a priest wet grass, and then the priest was dry.
No, I heard him.
The
because I
priest
heard
was
the
what?
words dry. But I heard him talk
That
about
wasn't
the
right.
grass was red.
What the heck?
So I have no idea what story he was talking about.
Yeah, this guy's. To be
He
honest,
didn't
when I
come. He
saw
didn't
the
come well.
title-
He didn't come well prepared at all. He didn't.
No.
He didn't have his stuff together. He was expecting it to be one particular way. Probably he's used to seeing these debates go one way on these live streams and stuff. But it unfortunately it didn't. He was stumped from the beginning. Yeah, so he just jet because he just didn't have his shit in one sock.
Yeah, he actually thought. I genuinely
So,
think he
I have a
thought
question for Flatzoid, right quick. Did
Wait,
he bring? Do you still have his papers that he brought
Wait,
with him? I
Roger.
want to pour. I want to pour through his.
We'll go through.
Oh yeah,
them,
we
but,
got to definitely.
Sorry, Nate just wanted to ask a question. Yeah, Nate?
Yeah, no, I was just
Sorry.
gonna say, I think he actually thought he was gonna get you with that first point of cosmology versus cosmology.
Yes.
Like, he was so dedicated on that for some reason.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, well,
both. The
he's-
Bible contains both.
But he doesn't understand the difference
Well,
He didn't.
because he brings up a
deals with
because
it.
he brings up a affiliation of a journal, which is philosophy of science, by the way. So it's not science, and tells
Let
me
God be true and every man a liar. That's all I got to say.
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
this
So,
person is saying the argument is that it's cosmogony because that's not a definition, by the way. That whole paper is just about them saying they don't agree that it's
Yeah.
cosmology.
there we go.
Not that it is. What is the difference between cosmogony and cosmology?
Yeah.
They don't agree that it's cosmology. The guy can't read.
Well,
So
it's
the
a
guy
lot of
can't read.
opinion.
A lot of time was wasted just on that definition. That was like a good
So he doesn't agree with
hour
science
or
either,
so
then, is
or
what we're
something
saying.
like that.
No, he doesn't know what science is, even if it hit him in the face.
Yeah.
No.
But
I know,
I'm
but it would
sorry,
seem
I
that
don't
he's making
buy
the
it
same
that
mistake
this
he
guy-
claims we're making,
I-
right?
But I don't buy it that guy is a PhD candidate because he doesn't have the same demeanor as someone who's studying to get a PhD. I'm sorry.
No.
I saw
Somebody brought up a good point earlier. He would have used his science, especially him being new to that thing, being a quote unquote PhD candidate. He would have used his new skills against
Yep.
you, but he didn't.
Right.
Or if he tried to, he did a poor
couldn't-
job at doing
The
it.
problem is he couldn't even have an intellectual discussion.
No, not at all.
He was literally every time he opened his mouth, he had a fallacy.
Yeah.
He could have
That's
agreed.
not-
He could have
that's-
agreed with you on that one point and still
I
went on
haven't-
and still had an argument, but he didn't. He wasn't willing to do that. That's what made me upset. It was like,
Yeah.
why are you holding on to that definition thing? Like, what is this about?
Yeah.
the thing is, I didn't want to just circle jerk the same thing over and over. It was hard enough getting him to understand. He literally contradicted himself constantly with cosmogony and cosmology.
Yeah, I paid $20 for that definition, man.
You did?
Should have just bid on
That was a good.
Yeah,
That was a
really,
good
huh?
one.
Spent all that damn
Cost you
money.
20 bucks.
Damn.
I really appreciate it, man.
Uh.
But did you see how he kept double speaking? He kept going between the two and telling me I'm wrong, literally when he made my point.
Yeah.
Well, I think these guys think that Flatzoid is just a grade A moron. Literally, he doesn't read what he's going to tell you. He doesn't study it.
Wouldn't you at least research the man first? Like, go into like who he really is and what he does know, and watch some of your videos to like get to know who you are before he comes in to attack you. I mean, I would.
And
right?
The thing is, I almost set up a whole presentation for tonight because it was supposed to be a debate.
Oh, you would have wasted your time, homie.
And it would have been a waste of time. And I thought, you know what? I know enough. I don't really need to make a presentation. Let's just bring this up. And I'm glad
I think the best way is to do it fluid. Yeah, just do it from the hip. I mean, you make mistakes. You make mistakes. As long as you call them out and you say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I made the wrong definition." I do that all the time when I'm on TikTok and stuff. Like last night, I had a guy come in and he started doing that same thing. He started talking in circles and trying to like. He wasn't calling me names or anything, but he was insinuating that I was uneducated, and that's why I was in here preaching what I was preaching, right? And I was like, bro, why are you going to go like that? Like, why can't you just bring me some evidence and show me what you have that proves me wrong? That's all we're here for, right? Like, if you had anything, then why didn't you bring it? And he just kept on attacking my character, and I'm like, what? Like, why, bro? Like, why are you like that?
But that education can work as a double-edged sword, because look at this guy, a quote-unquote a PhD candidate, right? He can't even properly defend himself, and he can't even properly formulate a decent opinion, right?
Well, I admit, a panel of 8 or 9 guys that it's kind of hard to like argue with a panel of 8 or 9 guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but I mean, I'll give the guy credit. He stuck in with it, but I think just the fact that he wouldn't even settle on definitions, that was obvious, right? And it was because he has a bias, obviously, right? But he was making comments about how we were biased, right? And that we didn't know what we were talking about. But then he goes right into how he's biased, and that's why he believes what he believes. It's like, how do you do that and then have an argument? I don't get that, right? Like,
but one of the first things you need for a debate or a discussion is a microphone.
Yes, that's a plus.
And some knowledge on the subject.
Even if it's like a little robotic, at least be able to hear you clearly.
I know. I mean, I didn't understand what you were saying. Yeah, that's doing poorly.
I think he's lying about the PhD part, because PhDs.
He was probably in the broom closet trying to do it at work.
I'm gonna say last night I was saying, hey Flatzoid, I wish you debated more PhDs. I saw the title, I got excited. Flatzoid, you owe me that 30 minutes back. This is actually like
I got robbed.
How this guy
I'm gonna quickly show something, guys.
Yeah.
This is what I was trying to bring up with him. This is from Peter Enns, okay? I'm gonna quickly modern cosmology. No, where was it? I had it up. Then I just zoomed it in. I can't find it.
Oh, trust me, I watched it. I was reading along with it. You did it.
Science has nothing to do with cosmology. What is he trying to push onto me?
Cosmology?
He's trying to tell me cosmology is science.
Yeah.
Science cannot test cosmology.
Isn't cosmology like origins? Like isn't that what it means? The origin?
Yeah.
Well, there's a study of the.
But yes, you have a theological problem if you think Genesis 1 or any of the Bible must conform to contemporary pseudoscience. Uh-oh. That's talking about the globe, by the way, guys. This is Peter Enns.
So what did Peter Enns actually believe himself?
He was a glober, though, but he did understand that it's pseudoscience.
The difference, right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it had to be a faith almost for him, too.
That's what he was writing about.
Yeah.
But, you know, the PhD guy would have known that if he would have just taken his time, man, and just listened. And if you don't know, like one of the big takeaways from these debates, man, is it should be an opportunity to learn as well, because you can't know everything and you can't win everything. If you don't know, you don't know. Whether you're right or wrong, just listen. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, PhD candidate is listening right now. I'm not making fun of you, but next time you come into one of these things and it's like you're coming into the den of the lion, like know that we're not like the globe people. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta
If
have
it's time
teeth.
for us to be
No, we really
quiet,
aren't ignorant. We might sound like it sometimes, but we're not ignorant. We
right.
do,
We
we do
joke
research
around
it.
and everything else like that. This is totally a time to learn, right? If you don't know something, sit back and listen. Like in the beginning, you didn't even know who wrote the Bible, right? And it wasn't a got you question. It's an actual question. Who wrote the first 5 books of the Bible? Do you know? All you had to say was, no, I don't. Instead, it turned into this 45-minute nonsense craziness, man. Like you don't know, you don't know. It's a time to learn. Just sit back, relax,
But
listen.
that's my issue I had with this. He says he wanted to come to learn, okay? He came under false pretense, and everything I said, even though he said yes, he doesn't know, still told me I'm wrong.
Yeah, that China spacewalk was
You
interesting.
You named every single Old Testament book, and he said, "Yeah, read it. Yeah, read it. Yeah, read it. Yeah, 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 yeah." And then you asked,
I
"What's
was
your favorite?"
I was hoping we were going to get to somewhere where he can say, "Oh, maybe Jonah and the whale or something," and then ask him, "Okay, explain the story in context to me." But yeah, the guy, I'm sorry, I don't buy that the guy ever
Hold
read
on a
the
second.
book.
If you bought a new toy, to tell you how to use the things like 80 or 100 page time, do you think you really have a perfect how to use that equipment just by reading it one time? I don't think so. I wouldn't.
No,
I
but-
might remember the basics, but I'm not going to
Yeah,
remember
but
all the
they-
details, right?
Yeah, but not even
That's
that.
a good point.
Not even that. It's like giving him a manual, like for that book, and telling him to read it. I'm the one that wrote the manual, and then he wants me to explain to him. And if I explain to him, he says, "No, I'm wrong."
That's right.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
yeah.
I'm
That's
the one
like
that made this up
that's
here.
like you pointing the finger at God. Yeah. Hey Vlad, what is your avatar? I'm trying to make it out.
Oh, that's Brigitte. That's Brigitte Macron. I read
What?
that's her because that's the president of France's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Apparently,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a rumor that she's a dude or something like
Yep.
that.
Looks
With a
like looks
Maria.
like
Oh.
Bull Hurley
Don't you
over
guys
the top.
find that
Have you seen
odd?
Barbara
It
Bush?
seems-
Gee.
Yeah, but don't you guys find that odd? It seems to be a very big norm that the president's wives are very manly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like Michael.
I was gonna say, it looks
Michael,
more like Bull Hurley from
Michael
Over
Robinson.
the Top with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. They're pushing that whole as above, so below craziness, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, and then what's actually funny is that they even for I didn't even know they did this for the Olympics, but apparently for the lighting of the torch, which this has gone past, but like I just found this out. For the lighting of the torch, it was a Janny and a man. So instead of a woman and a man, this time
I gotcha.
the torch. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It was a Jimmy instead of a Jenny.
Yeah. No, I said Janny because I don't want to say the real word.
Yeah.
Like a
No, I got it. I
transformer,
thought that was the perfect way to do it. That was good.
So the votes is at the moment we've got 99 votes, guys, and it says biblical cosmology describes an enclosed stationary flat Earth 79%, globe Earth 21%. Who the hell clicks on globe Earth?
I don't know. Maybe they did it on just to be funny. I don't know. Or maybe they were just, grumpy, or maybe they were troll.
I would do that
Oh,
if I was
man.
mad at Flatzoid.
Did Joe step
There are
out? I don't
times-
see him anymore.
But there are times where when I come in to do the little vote thing, I don't really pay attention to it. I just click something because it looks like the right answer. And then when I go back and read it, I'm like, uh-oh, I just answered that wrong.
Yeah.
So it might be that too.
It's fair to say Flatzoid a question he words the polls a little weirdly sometimes.
Yeah, but
He's trying to catch you off.
A lot of the times I do it that way. It's
Well,
like a
he
catch
wants you to
22.
read the question. Yes, he wants you to read the
Yeah.
question and make sure you understand what the question is. Yeah.
Because a
And
lot of
think
the
about
time, yeah, it's got double meanings to it. It's
Yes,
more
of
just
course.
a fun play on words. That's why I make it.
I know
that
you
way.
put a lot into that.
It's
Yeah.
to make a person think.
Yeah, because a lot of people expect like a yes or no for the poll. So it's like, yeah, I just come
Because I've seen a lot of the time you read something, but you didn't read it through properly, So you've clicked the wrong poll by accident.
Well, I can't
Because
help
you
it. I'm in a hurry to get in the stream so I can be on the show, and then I'm all excited. You know, I can't help it sometimes.
But the polls are just for the fun, by the way. It's not to
I
take
know that.
seriously, guys.
It's not like
Yeah.
there's a right or wrong answer. It's just
Yeah.
see what people think, right?
I know you're
He's
being
not-
marked for it. You're being marked for it. Definitely.
Yeah, it's for
What do you
interaction.
think?
Big Brother's watching you.
Mm.
Enoch is my favorite book of the Bible, man.
Is it really?
It must be. I
Well,
love
What?
the-
Because of all the hubbub that there is about it.
Well, you know, when you finish reading the book of Enoch, go to the book of Jasher and Jubilees as well, because
Yeah, you read it all.
I
Yeah.
think it's for Deuteronomy. You'll find it there. Okay.
They definitely correspond, for
But I
sure.
was just really,
But like I was saying to him, those books are actually, I think every Christian should read them,
Yeah.
even though they're not biblical canon.
If you look
But
at the
tonight's
Ethiopian
discussion was
Bible, they
specifically-
that's it. The Ethiopian Bible, they sell it online, and it runs like around like $120 or something like that. It has all those extra books
Yeah.
in there.
Has it gone down? Oh,
But
last time I looked for one, it was like 13.
Yeah, but
Wow.
like I was
They've
saying
been-
to him, though, I think every Christian should actually read those books.
Yes.
I'm not saying they shouldn't, because it does go into good detail and stuff, even though it's not biblical canon. But tonight was specifically based on biblical cosmology, so it was about the Bible, not about other books that weren't biblical canon. So the guy couldn't keep to the structure that we're supposed to have.
He obviously heard about that and brought it up on
McToon.
purpose.
We heard it from McToon and Mr. Peter Markley.
Maybe he's part of that same science club or whatever that McToon's in.
Well,
I don't know
if you accept the Bible, you got to accept Enoch. You know, that was McToon's exact quote, right?
Oh yeah, I
when
guess
so guys, I got one very serious question though. When am I ever going to get a serious biblical cosmology debate person?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do they exist? Maybe if we did it with each other. Maybe if we just
there
debated
was
each other.
There was one guy that debated what's his name, Rob Skiba, a few times, and he's a Glober. I forgot his name, but he
I was gonna
seems
say
to be
Skiba
quite
debated a few people. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was one dude that Skiba debated many times, and he beat him pretty soundly. But the guy, kind of held his own. He has a couple of publications out there, and there's also Kent Hovind. He seems pretty. He seems pretty knowledgeable.
Ken Hovind doesn't want to debate me.
Oh no, he doesn't. Uh-oh.
He doesn't like.
Well,
he
you got
doesn't
to be
wanna
careful with Hovind because he believes that God made everything, but he believes it's a ball, right? Isn't that the
He
problem?
doesn't want to debate a flat earther.
Yeah.
Right.
No, he won't.
No longer on a ball. You can debate me, but what are we going to debate about? We probably agree on the same thing.
Pretty much agree on the same.
He signed it. He signed the DNA. Or
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw No Longer on the Ball. He did a fantastic job putting together a flat Earth wiki. So if you guys hadn't seen it, check it out. He's done some serious work putting that thing together, man. It really helps out the community. So get your eyes on it if you hadn't seen it.
What's up, Sean? Yeah, he says that's why I'm trying to organize against Dr. Doug. That would be awesome on Stand for Truth. Sunday the 18th. Well, I'll definitely, guys, will review that if it happens for sure.
Oh,
So what are the odds that this PhD candidate's at home reading his Bible right now?
He's probably messaging Peter Markley right now. I did what you told me to do. It didn't work.
I find it hard to believe that what. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's gonna be like, man, you sure Moses wrote the first 5 books? I thought it was Jesus, man. I thought Jesus wrote the first 5 books, man.
Yeah, Stephen debated Dr. St. Genis. Yep. Oh, dude, that reminds me, Sean, I actually got an interesting video I want to email you. These guys, they took different AI models and they debated based on biblical theology, based on the Trinity.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Actually, very good. It was actually very good.
Really?
It's kind of slow. You might want to watch it in fast motion because they.
Yeah. But I have to say the arguments that were brought up, even though it's weird hearing AI bring it up, but it was actually a very good discussion.
Well, the thing is, I don't like. Never mind. I was gonna say how that kind of disproves atheism, but like I think you can see where I was going with that.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters if you believe in the Trinity or not.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, it's, do you believe that Jesus died for sins? That's it. Like John 3:16 says. There we go. That at the end of the day is what
That's more important. Yeah.
matters. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you believe in a monotheistic God or three gods or whatever. I think
Well, the
it's
most
just
important
based
thing is to love one another like yourself. That's the most important.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What I hate about the people that just go ahead and say, "Oh, these guys are heretics," and blah blah blah. It's like
Even the Trinitarian is monotheistic. They're not polytheistic. It's not.
Yeah. But
It's not
we
many
give it a
gods.
lot to the people think
just repeat
Trinitarian.
personages.
Yeah.
I got a question. Didn't Kent Hovind actually postulate that there were dinosaurs on the Ark?
Yes, he claimed that if dinosaurs did exist, that's basically what he said, was that they took, you know, the baby versions, obviously either just after the egg or whatever stage, so that way they would have it, and it wouldn't have grown up by that time. Supposedly, that's what he claims. But it's a good theory, but I don't know if it fits into the actual what really happened.
They made up the definition before they even found dinosaurs. We already know dinosaurs are complete.
Yeah.
Well, just because animals existed that were the size of great cedars doesn't necessarily mean that they were dinosaurs. They might have just been animals that were larger than what we have now, right?
They were dinosaurs.
I mean, it's the thing of like a dog breeding a Great Dane will eventually turn into a Chihuahua, right? Like, I mean, obviously those are different, but
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know how many dogs God created. We don't know that, right? He doesn't say which phylum and which kingdom and all that he created first, but
Maybe
I mean, we have to guess, right?
Maybe things like griffins God was trying to wipe out.
I think that's based on if you think that everything evolved, but if everything just basically stayed the same but only evolved in micro ways in order to support its environment, you know, obviously adaptation is there, right? We've got proof for that, but when you look at it, it's just like it's a misunderstanding of what the stuff means, right? You know, they misunderstand what is really being said, and then they call it, oh, well, that must mean that God doesn't exist, and all. Yeah. Sorry, I do run on that.
Sean, I haven't really watched. I was just say,
Before I
Sean,
came
you
in-
haven't really watched the debate yet on the Trinity. I'll definitely download some of them and watch. I watched a few minutes of that discussion you had with Sam Shimon and God Logic and them. And I think they were a bit unfair to you, but that is how Sham Shimon is, though. He's very passionate, is the word I would say.
Shamona. No, it's Shamoon.
I was waiting for somebody to do that.
But hey, wait, what was it? He went up and talked about flat Earth or something? What happened?
No, the Trinity.
Oh.
Yeah, I watched like a 10 minutes cut from that. Like I said, I don't agree with Shimon and them calling him a heretic and things. It's not.
Why are people stuck on some silly thing like that kind of thing? Like, what is the big deal with us? What is the big deal? I don't understand why there's such an argument between the two. They're both, either way, Jesus still came and died for our sins. Why do we have to be arguing about some silly?
Because after that death,
you know, like, doesn't make
after
sense.
that death, 2,000 years of theology kind of, you know, messed up our I guess brotherhood, I would say.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, we separated. We got, you know, scattered everywhere.
Yeah. I don't really see the reason to argue about it. I mean, yeah, you can have a discussion about and debate it and things, but it doesn't really mean to say, oh, you're not going to be a Christian just because you don't agree with the same theology I do. You know what I mean? I don't really agree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
So why do they bring it up? Exactly.
I mean, obviously,
To go as far to say heretic. Yeah.
it comes to the true God, of course, right? But whether if that's which obviously I don't hold strongly on this. I kind of do feel the way you guys feel. But if it's like a Muslim or any kind of other religion, then we can say, okay, well then where do your beliefs come from? And then that's when other like tag arguments and you know, Jim Bob.
But you also can't just discount somebody just because they have a different religion, because they might actually believe the same things you do at heart. Like if you get down to it, but you're just misconcepting that their tradition has told them to say this. You know what I mean?
Is that those that read the Quran
Yeah,
and
they're a lot
take
better than
time to
actual
read the
Islam.
Quran. They actually use the Bible as a reference tool as well. So
Yeah.
it's like a lot
Yes,
of
they
these
really.
people, especially those imams, like they specialize in the Bible before they even go and touch the Quran for the most part. So they're a lot of them are more scholarly in the scriptures than you or me. You know what I'm saying? And you'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised in how much they know about the Bible. I'm not saying
I know
that.
they know. I understand they know a lot about the Bible. I'm saying even though
They know
they
a
may
lot
take
about it,
from
so
that,
they can talk
their
you down.
basic theology kind of goes against. And I do say, like, when like Sam and these people that call these people heretics, when they debate, they say the same thing that I'm about to say. Muslims are like better than the Quran because the Quran teaches some very messed up stuff as well. So it just comes to theology at that point when you get into that debate. But yeah, I think you have to be Christian. You can't be a Hindu Christian and believe
Yeah.
in a pantheon of gods with Jesus as one of the teachers, right?
Yeah.
So,
Or you could be a
Right,
Hindu.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Hindu. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's what we do.
Well, don't satanic cosmology and their gods actually try to marry all these things together for some reason?
Yeah.
It gets kind of headachy.
Well, they create a God for everything, so that way we can argue with different gods, and we don't have to just talk to one. We got plenty to talk to, I guess. I don't know.
All those
Didn't make any
heads in
sense to
your
me.
voice in your head.
Well, yeah, it's like
How
there's a
many
rain,
are there?
there's a god, there's a rain god, there's a fire god, there's a sleep god, there's a it's just like ridiculous. There's a tire god, I guess. There's a car
What is
god,
it? Hold on.
pool gods. I don't know.
It's what they had before they had like the basic. Because I mean, you can consider these older religions when we know that the idea of Christianity, the true God, has always been inside of people, right? But we can say that this is just them attributing God's attributes to minor things such as the wind, and then we find out why the wind actually happens is because of. But it was an attribute. It was attributing, and then there's such things in the Bible that talks about thunder sounding like how God's voice sounds like.
This is such a true meme though, and this makes me think of the Pope.
But if God is the energy
Remember?
that we're all made out of, then that would make sense, right? Like it would fit right into the argument. It would fit right into the cosmology or whatever, whatever that is.
But but I'm saying this
Now I'm
meme
confused
is
about which one it is.
Right. I say this meme is so true. It makes you think of the Pope. Did you guys hear what the Pope said the other day?
No, what did he say?
They say he's saying you just follow your heart. Your heart is truthful.
Oh, wow.
Just follow your
Do
heart.
as thou wilt.
What
He's
if
going to be
somebody
saying, do as
charged
thou
you
wilt.
Oh
and
yeah,
you're
do
gonna
as
kill a
thou
whole
wilt.
bunch of
Literally,
people?
Anton,
Follow your
Anton
heart.
grade level.
Yeah.
That guy's disgusting. I mean, but we agree against the papacy. We can distinguish from degenerate Christianity and what Sam Shamoon and these apologists consider heresy.
The reason why it's creepy to me. The reason why it's creepy to me is because it came straight out of Disney. Follow your heart, like teaching little girls to follow their heart and chase after that big tough guy, the big mouthy one that's an asshole, like you know what I mean?
Disney and the TV did so much for these people. I mean,
Yeah, and that's just part of it. Now that I know he's in on that, that just terrifies me. It's just creepy.
I got this. I mean, I'm not gonna show, but I got these little stickers of demons from like Looney Tune style demons on my little laptop right here, and it's just weird how they kind of like characterized all these devilish things in like such pleasant ways to people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They have a
how
little
they
Baphomet
weave
too
witchcraft
these days.
into reality. Yeah, it's really creepy.
With a Barbara's little satanic plushie, Baphomet plushie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, it's amazing. They make it so cute, so kids devour. Oh, I want one.
You do know they're coming out with they've been coming out with books for kids like what's it called? Teach kids about Baphomet. There was this I'm pretty sure there's this website that sells them.
I've seen it.
There's this
I don't know if it's real, but I've seen it.
No, there's this one book called My Friend Baphomet, and it's just for like
I saw that one. Yeah, I saw the little.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's your friend. Like that's for sure.
Man. This is how they groom kids, man. That's just another way to groom the kids.
You know it. Yeah, it has to do with kidnapping and hurting children. That's exactly why it scares me so much.
Yeah, this is just another way. And there's also
Okay, I got a
another
question then. I know this is the wrong time to ask it, but when are we going to do
Hey,
something about it?
Ryan,
Now,
wait, man.
Ryan.
Ryan was talking, man.
Sorry.
And works. That's what he's going to say.
There's also a book series. I read it. It's actually really good. I'm sorry to say, but it's called the Bartimaeus, the Bartimaeus quadrilogy. I call it a quadrilogy because it's 4 books, and it's the Solomon's. It's the Golem's. Yeah, it's the Golem's Eye, the Ring of Solomon, the Amulet of Samarkand, and the I think it's the Door of Ptolemy. I forget. But basically, it talks about a jinn or a demon that gets summoned often throughout history. Yeah, a demon that gets summoned, and the boy makes, and the protagonist in the story is this young man that basically like draws pentacles on the ground and everything else like that to summon these demons. And it's by Jonathan Stroud. This book, he makes a series that's pretty big on Netflix now called Lockwood and Company. Right, he's a British author, I think. Pretty successful book series, and I'm not going to sit here and BS you, man. That was a pretty deep book, and it was very well thought out and very well written. But these are things that the kids are going to read them, and they may take them the wrong way.
Why do you think Harry Potter got so good? It's because it's reality. Like, this mystical world is the real world. Like, Harry Potter isn't good. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, no one read that and thought, man, that's good. They thought, wow, this mystical force.
You're just
Star
a muggle,
Wars,
man. You're just
Force.
a muggle. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just yeah. It's it just puts it into our psyche where it's like, that's why it became famous, because we know it's part of our reality and it indoctrinates us. Now we actually have pagans who go out and do like mystical stuff and like, they don't even have to be part of this like government conspiracy. They could just be normal civilians who actually get indoctrinated to do black magic because they think it's like cool.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know what they're messing with, man. Nobody knows what they're messing with.
Definitely not.
That's it.
Yep.
Done.
So
yeah, this debate with Flatzoid was so bad that we actually had to go off and talk about this kind of stuff. Like, Flatzoid, were you really impressed at this guy, or do you think that?
To be honest, I had more. I've actually had more of a. I'm trying to think of the right word. That's not too demeaning for the guy. Constructive conversation with teenagers about the subject.
Ouch.
Yeah.
The guy literally didn't have anything constructive to the argument. He didn't add anything or nothing. He was doing what that other guy did last night, again, that Krieg guy, just arguing for the sake of it.
Yeah. Totally truculent.
You know what? That is true. He did argue for the sake of it, and then I actually think he was maniacal, because when we were asking him questions at the end, he was like, he was gonna answer. He was like, started laughing. I was like, oh my goodness, this guy's.
He's like, can I talk? And I'm sitting there dead quiet. I'm like,
he says it 3 times, and
it's like he thought he won at that point. Like, that was where he won the argument, right? Like, it's funny.
Yeah, he kept going back and forth. Well, can you tell me the difference between wisdom and knowledge? No. Can you tell me the wait, can you? And I'm like, come on, man. Are you gonna make a point?
That's the way that's the way they insult you. That's an insult. That's basically saying you must not know the difference, otherwise you wouldn't be saying those words. That's basically what he was saying in different terms. Yeah. It's an intellectual insult is what it is. And most of the time you don't catch them, but I catch them and I'd be like, really? That's how you're going to be? And then they go like, whoa, he actually caught on to that. I loved it. Somebody did that to me last night 3 or 4 times. I was like, dude, stop doing that, bro. It's not nice. Like, I was trying to have a conversation with you, a peaceful one, and you're like going off.
I'm looking at Soggs's picture over there.
Infinity. All right. Yeah, I got it. I like it. Infinity plus infinity equals 16.
Yeah, I've been watching it and he was good. I got so many of those. I should make a collage like that too.
I'm so glad he didn't ask, since that picture's up now. I'm so glad he didn't ask like a mathematical explanation for the Bible or something.
Oh God.
Because he was asking
Oh,
like, can
boy.
you bring a scientific paper for that? Flatzoid, what is a scientific paper?
Yeah. I tell you what, that's how my brother is. God bless him. He's a good dude. Love the dude, very smart. He's a math teacher, right? And his thing is if if the math doesn't work, then it's not real. Because the world, the universe is math. And
Right.
I'm like, hey man, but
Men created that.
what if the whole premise is a lie? What if everything they give you is a lie? What if it just doesn't exist? No, it has to exist because the math says it exists.
You're
I'm like,
muted,
wow,
Roger. You're not muted, man. Roger's not
Rod.
muted. No.
Yeah.
Bora, yeah, we can always have a discussion or debate or whatever, man. Because I know he wants to do this sometime.
Ironworks, I feel the exact same way about, not exactly with the globe, but my sister's a psychologist,
Oh.
and you know that a lot of what actual
Working there,
psychologists,
Roger.
they actually get told, just tell the patient to give themselves a hug. Like there's actual psychologists who will tell you that, and she's one of these. She's not really, but it's like trying to argue what they learned is. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, it's the worst because what they're built on.
Yeah,
You
and I
you
mean,
can't just destroy the foundation from right under their feet.
it's wild, man. Let me tell you how wild that brings up a good point, right? Where she's gonna comfort you and say, well, maybe it's this and maybe it's that, because the stuff that you're saying doesn't make any sense. So this is what my brother, like I was explaining to him, right? I was like, hey man, when I was on a sub, I could see for miles from on a periscope, and the periscope was barely out of the water, and we could see for miles and miles, right? On a nice clear glass, the sea state is glass. And then he said, well, who else was with you in there? I was like, well, you had a room.
You need a witness. Can we get a witness?
Right.
This guy was interrogating you.
I was like, he acts like I was the only one in the submarine, like I was driving the thing, right?
You're
So
not trustworthy.
I was like, we had all of control. I was like, we had people in there a lot smarter than you and me put together, right? And so he was like, did they have their degrees? I'm like, oh my Lord.
Oh,
anything to just
exactly
nullify whatever you have to have. Yep.
That's why before I go into a conversation, I always evaluate which path they can go and if it's really worth my time.
Yeah.
Because
is it really worth talking to them ahead of time?
Argue, is it really worth to argue if the glass was a different kind of glass than that's what's regularly used or something?
But my glass had a square end.
And that, I tell you what, man, and
that's not practical standard.
Yeah, their community.
Or they say, but I can put the round pole into the hole that's square. See, I can do that. So that must mean that I'm right. Yeah.
Exactly. And their
that's the kind of stuff I get.
Laud them. Their communities do a fantastic jobs of lauding these people and making them appear as if they are the hottest thing since sliced bread. And they do such a phenomenal job, and everybody else doesn't realize that it's just all pomp and empty, and it's just hot air. It's useless. A lot of this
it's the same thing they do when they're Sorry.
Funny thing is, these people actually. Wait, I forgot what I was gonna say. How did I forget what I was gonna say? Okay, never mind.
It happens, dude.
Yeah, like they sit there, they circle jerk each other, and then they tell you, "Well, you can't. That can't be right." Listen,
and then they tell you can't circle jerk, and then it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, where did you get your degree from? I got mine from Harvard. I got this paperwork from Harvard. I got mine from Yale. Where'd you get yours from? Be like, hey man, I didn't even get mine. I just have common sense. Really, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Like I could see through
that's all you need.
Yep.
That's all you need.
And it's so unfortunate because you see these kids going off to college, spending exorbitant amounts of money, only to wind up working at Starbucks.
Oh yeah, I remember I was gonna say.
Yeah.
These are the same people who will agree to the idea that eyeballs formed from photosynthesizing.
The need to see, from the need to see, right?
Our skin can absorb sun, and then just over time, like lightning struck, and then atoms conjoined. They just joined for some reason. These are the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
then don't forget, these are the same people that said you don't need your pinky toe. They're also the same people that said you don't need your appendix. We don't know why you have your
oh,
appendix.
yeah.
It's a useless
Come on,
organ
they
in
know.
your body.
Yeah.
Hey,
Remember
hey,
when they were
They
hey,
know.
saying that?
you know what I was told? I was
Oh,
told the reason that I have nipples is because I was a male. I was a female actually before I became a male when I was fully developed.
oh
Yeah,
wow.
and if your testicles wouldn't have dropped, then you would have been a girl, right? That's basically what they tell you.
You're just a
It's kind
fully
of like
baked.
a really
I swear,
Yeah.
I swear, I've actually heard this. I swear, I've actually heard this idea that you're the opposite gender that you come out as before you're fully developed. I
Oh
swear,
my
I've heard
God.
Yeah, like everybody's a girl until this hormone comes along. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
not true.
it's
But
like
Everybody's a girl
like
until
you were left,
everybody's
you were
a
in
girl.
the oven for a little bit longer. That's why you came out with extra parts.
that's just people taking advantage of you not knowing facts about this type of science and how to explain it and how to discuss it, and then them using those words against you. That's all it is. It's
Yeah.
not, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes me mad about it. Is that it's just a deception, and they don't even realize it. Sometimes they're using it because they're, someone gave them the idea or they heard someone else saying it. They don't even realize that it's not even a good argument. They're not even thinking about that part of it. They just think they're right because someone else has really believed it and they look like they believed it. So why wouldn't I?
It was in
It's like it's
Science
hard. It's
of
hard to deal with
America.
people like that. It really is. It's like
It
they
is.
don't think for
And
themselves.
what's crazy is the majority of people that run it, that's them. That's them. And then they say the whole, oh, we have these peer-reviewed papers. They rest their laurels on these peer-reviewed papers that don't amount to monkey crap. And they throw that in your face, and really all you have is your common sense. But it's your common sense that's the problem, and
but
nobody agrees with it.
ironworks.
And even if you show them that they can't possibly be right, then they come
Here
back
comes
with,
the joke.
so you mean to tell me all those people that did all this science and all this research before you is wrong?
Right? Yeah.
I
Yeah. How dare
was
you
gonna say,
accuse them of being wrong without looking at every detail? Right? Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, right.
yeah, I was just gonna say, that it's like, yeah, they come back. For
Trust me, if
example,
I did, I'd come back smarter and I'd be able to argue with you even better because I'd probably find all kinds of holes in the arguments and holes in their theories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what at least that's what Witsit did. I thought that was pretty funny. Like he did that. He went that way, and I thought that was really awesome that he did. But he did get caught up in a lot of other stuff, mystical stuff that might have, led him astray
Yeah.
a little bit. But I got to give him credit for like going with what he thought was the truth, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's been siding with the ether, and I believe more and more every day that there's something to this ether. I don't know how it works, but
Yeah.
more
Now,
every day it
that
seems like it's pointing more and more towards it. So
yeah,
one other guy,
but my
that.
thing is
Oh
with
yeah,
this,
sorry.
with when it comes to this, is that we just need to be careful with the things that we don't know. If we don't know, right,
Mhm.
like just we need to tread carefully. But when it comes to what this place does and don't do, it don't curve and it don't move. Like we can demonstrate it all day, right? And then the
Mhm.
Like,
Bible
Yeah,
backs it up. The
yeah.
Bible
yep,
backs
it's
it up,
firm, doesn't?
At
Yeah,
least
exactly.
for
right?
that point,
Over and
even
over too.
the
Yes.
people at the top can't argue that because you say, "Hey, what is your flight manual say on the first page?" And they say,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes. To
or they say, or it's like, "Man, you're shooting guns, but like, what do you have to calculate there? Not really
exactly.
anything." So, when it comes to flat Earth, this is kind of the only thing that's really undebatable, at least when you have the truth and you grasp it. Because imagine if we were debating any other Earth. Every other Earth has been destroyed. It's literally globe versus flat, and that's the only one you'll see
well,
on debate.
at least the belief in it just doesn't match up with what we see. Right? Exactly.
Imagine if you saw on modern day debate triangle Earth versus globe. Like that's never been seen.
No, it won't because the reason
Because
why
we
they put
haven't
out
seen
stuff
it.
is to attack us. It's the only reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
You can
obvious,
actually
right?
debate it.
I'm not sure why they do that. I guess they're paid or whatever, but it does seem weird why all these crazy people just come out of the
Well,
woodwork. But
well, you see, the thing that gets me the most,
it is.
with
It's incredible.
let's say this upward rising Earth stuff, okay, which is rubbish. The thing that bothers me the most about this,
Yeah.
you have some Christians believing this upward rising Earth nonsense.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
How?
It's
that.
and you know it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that makes it way worse.
Yeah, it makes it worse. What
Mhm.
Bible do they read?
They don't. That's the thing.
I don't
A
know.
lot
Yeah,
of
that's
these
what I'm saying. Maybe they're
Christians,
not.
quote unquote Christians, they don't read the Bible. And you know what? I'll tell you what. I was one of them, right? I would look at the Bible and I thought I knew Genesis. I did. And I thought, I'm sure there were so many of us that didn't actually take the time to read Genesis, and much of this comes out of Genesis, where if you look at the beginning of the scriptures, if the beginning is not telling the truth, then the whole thing you might as well cast the rest aside. You know what I'm saying? But
Right,
even
right.
from the jump,
Yeah.
the scriptures is telling you what this place is. They're starting with the truth, and then the rest
It's not
of it just
specific, but it's
continues.
enough that you know it's not a spinning ball through space. It's pretty high, right?
Exactly. The rest of it
Like
just
I
follows.
think some people have said this, but when you actually, but you don't need it, of course. This is never like a requirement we say for people, because obviously it is the faith in Jesus. But when I understood flat Earth, Genesis just
Hey,
made
what's
more
up,
sense.
John?
Because I didn't
Hey
every
guys.
Hey,
time.
John.
Every
Yes,
time when I
John.
was like 8 or something, or like younger,
Mhm.
I would read Genesis and I would see the firmament, waters going above and then below the earth, and I would just wonder, okay, what is that? I don't get that. How does that work?
Yeah.
And then when I understood, I was like, okay,
Well,
I
I
can
think
take it
you
for what
guys
it is.
glanced
I
over
actually,
one good argument we have is containment and air
Yeah.
pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's solid foundations. One thing I wanted to add though to the argument, you need to take a breath, Flatzoid. Just take a breath. Take a breath, Flatzoid. You weren't even saying anything when he's saying it. Take a breath, Flatzoid. Take a breath. Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I could
I
see
would
you
have
were
got
getting
mad way
frustrated
before
too.
that.
Yeah,
I was
we could tell you were
getting
getting.
more frustrated that I couldn't get anywhere with the guy because he just was
Yeah.
very childish.
And it didn't
Yeah, it
help that
sucks
his
that you
mic.
ruined the whole
It,
thing
it,
by
it
doing
didn't
that.
help that he was talking through a pillow either. And so
No.
it
Or
was
what?
just making it frustrating. You trying to listen to him just be totally, contrite, and you're like, not contrite, but just opposing everything you said and just not paying any attention. And it's like, dude, relax, just listen. So
Mhm.
Well,
Did
the
you ever
problem is
did
they
you
don't
ever
ever
see
want to
my
listen to what
Odessa?
we actually believe compared to what they think we believe before we start the conversation. That's the part I get mad about. Is that they don't even ask me, well, what do you know, like, let's settle some differences and let's make sure that we have the same ideas about what religion is or whatever, Like usually you
there we
sit
go.
down and you talk about something like that just to get an idea of what this person's about. So they're not just some nut and you're not wasting your time, right? And then when you
Yes.
get to that point, it's like you're like, oh great, here we go again, like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like I don't know how to deal with it. I get frustrated. So I give Flats a lot of credit for holding out that long and not I get it. It ends up making you want to talk in this circle just like they do. You know what I mean? It
Yes.
ends up pulling you in, and that's the part of it. The deception that's the part that makes me mad about it is that it like weaves into where you start doing it too, and then you both look dumb, and it's like, well, that's the
Yes.
whole idea anyway, right? Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you have this debate?
What
Sorry?
debate?
If you want to call it
Mic
that.
check.
It
Mic
was
check.
now just before you came on. Actually, it was supposed to start at 9.
You sound
But
good.
first, the guy couldn't get his mic to work. Eventually,
Okay.
he did start it, and then he doesn't understand the difference between cosmogony and cosmology.
Okay.
And then he says he doesn't know the Bible, but wants to debate it. And then when he asks me to teach him about it, says I'm wrong when I tell him about it.
The usual.
Yeah, it was interesting, man. It was a lot of wasted time.
yeah, no, I was taking like 5-minute intervals texting people just because I couldn't hear this guy.
It was. He swallowed the microphone. That's what it sounded like. He swallowed it.
But yeah, the guy
I heard about 90%, but yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the same ballpark. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't even hear what you were saying, but I could tell he wasn't doing well.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
I
could tell he
think
didn't come prepared. He didn't come prepared at all. He wasn't ready for this debate, and so he thought being cute and being just going against everything was going to win him the debate, like McToon and them do. But
He frankly did what Peter Markley did. I bring up scholars, and then he says, "No, we're all just wrong."
Yep.
And then he tried to do that like presupposing thing, which his presupposition didn't even work when he tried to say cosmology different. So I was saying, I did think he banked the whole point on that, and then when you went into discussion about the Bible, he just filibustered until we came in here, and then he got embarrassed more.
And he ran.
Yeah, that's why I said I had enough, and I said, "Okay, you guys can come and have a discussion with him because it doesn't help me talking."
Did you invite him on?
Sorry?
Did you invite him on to talk about biblical cosmology, or
He actually wanted to do it with me. He asked me on Discord.
To specifically
So
talk
that's-
about biblical cosmology.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was
Even
the
though
weirdest
he
thing.
knew nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
He came
But-
on with,
so-
with like he came on with like bread in his mouth
He's
or talking
saying,
pillow.
"Come on,
It was ridiculous.
So I've done quite a few debates, and that is the strange thing that I've noticed often with my debate opponents is they have a lot of passion and zeal, but when we really start digging into the details, they're not ready.
They don't. Yeah. The problem is he's got. I've realized most of his information he got was from people like McToon and
Yes.
Peter. So
Flatzoid.
they just
Oh, sorry.
regurgitate what they hear from them, and then they think they know what's going on, but they
He
don't
was
actually
saying-
know anything.
So we were bringing. So Flatzoid brought up the little Bible interactive thing, and he kept on calling the windows portals because he was equivocating them with the portals in Enoch. And that's kind of, and then when Flatzoid brought up that, the verses and stuff, he just said, well, what about the portals? Explain me the port. You're saying it wrong, right? So it's like this guy, and then Flatzoid had to explain, well, Enoch's not in the Bible, and then he didn't know that.
He did bring 3 scientific papers with him too, which I want to look at.
Oh yeah, we
Either-
still have to look at those if you want.
Okay. You mean the affiliates papers?
The affiliate papers, yeah.
Sorry.
When he wanted a scientific paper for you.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see, the scientific part of the paper. That's what I'm trying to dig into.
You know, he missed out on a really
Yeah.
good opportunity to learn. If he would have just sat back and just relaxed and just listened, he missed out on a good opportunity to
That's not
to
what
learn.
he was here
So
for,
even if
Robert.
he didn't agree, at least next time he would have been better prepared. He would have done his research, right, based off of him losing, and then he would have come back with a rebuttal. But yeah.
So
Wait.
do you guys ever Flatzoid? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
37.
Okay, so guys, I don't know who else is on the call, but I'm 44. In the 1980s, almost every teenage movie, almost every movie where there was a fight in it, there would always be like a gang of dudes trying to fight one guy, right? And
Yes.
they would all gang up on him, and they would take turns in this very cheesy fashion. They would take turns stepping out of the circle to come punch the guy and make fun of him, and then step back in the circle. And that was like the standard in almost all movies back in the day. It was real cheesy. And that's what comes to mind when I see these tumors step out of the internet and want to just throw feces on you and then step back into obscurity, because they're not really ready for anything. They don't know the topic. They're not truly studied. They just want a chance so they can poop on you and then step away and then go laugh amongst their friends and say, look, I got this on video. I just was, crapping on him the whole time and making
It's
fun of
their
him.
college
'Cause
debate
that's
team
essentially
trying to get cred.
Yeah, we even
Yeah.
had someone come up here. Remember that girl Strider Flatzoid?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she came up here and she was like, my friends, I was telling my friends I was going to be here and they wanted me to troll you. I was like, what?
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But I
I've
must
heard
say, at
that
least
before.
she was honest.
Yeah, she was.
Okay, so this is one of the first paper he put up. Let's just quickly read through its amendment. A basic mistake through much of history of interpreting Genesis 1 is the failure to identify the type of literature and linguistic usage it represents. This has often led into turn of various attempts at bringing Genesis into harmony with the latest scientific theory, or the latest scientific theory into harmony with Genesis. Such efforts might be valuable and indeed essential. If not, if it could first be demonstrated rather than assumed that Genesis materials belong to the same class of literature and linguistic usage as modern scientific discourse. Do you know, just that alone shows he didn't understand this paper? Because this
That's
whole
why-
paper, yeah, this is just about them trying to say it's misuse, trying to bring biblical narrative into today's pseudoscientific belief.
that's
Just like
what
what
I mean.
you're talking about.
That was probably
That's
going
what
to be
I
very
mean.
difficult.
That's what I mean by you banked it on this. I feel like this is like one of Witsit's fans getting the Mickelson Morley PDF and then just bringing it up without explaining it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say he probably didn't even read this, dude.
But that's why I say I don't really agree the guy is studying to be a PhD because
Probably
his
right.
whole demeanor
Like I said, it
and
was probably
everything,
more
the
like a
way
debating
he,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
the PhD candidate was just to entice you to debate to
kind
debate
of thing.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, and it goes on.
I'll
A
give him
careful
credit. That was fun.
examination of the 6-day calculation, however, reveals that there is a serious category mistake involved in kinds of comparisons. The type of narrative from which Genesis 1 is presented is not natural history, but cosmogony. You see, that's what I told him. Genesis 1 is natural history. It's an historical narrative. These guys are arguing that it's not, and they're calling it cosmogony.
I thought he agreed with you in one instance on that very head.
Oh, by the way, we should just let him know. This guy wasn't a Christian, by the way. This was an atheist.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also the one thing, Sean. The guy isn't a Christian.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't. Everybody that opposes us, usually
He's
they're
agnostic.
anti.
He's agnostic. I couldn't hear what he said he believed in. But yeah, it's like how he wants to fight biblical cosmology with different beliefs. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't
feel like
study at all.
Biblical cosmology should be for Bible believers and Bible studiers and people who actually care about it.
Yeah.
Well, you notice how they try to make the modern scientific theory fit our cosmology all the time. It's like, yeah.
So Flats, the question I have for you is, I know this was frustrating because I saw how pissed you were getting, and it's understandable. How are you going to prepare and vet these guys the next time? Because this is like
Bro,
you're like, man, I
it's
wasted
tough.
a whole dang night dealing with this
So
joke.
Got to
It's
do like an
tough.
interview or something beforehand.
I think the only way we can really do it is like we do it at the moment. You give them the benefit of the doubt. You kind of baby them into it, and if they don't, you have to be stern. That's all I can
maybe
do.
we need our own platform to debate on, so that way.
Well, what if this guy was a troll though, and he just flashed something, like Eddie, like if I made it.
My hand was the whole time over.
Yeah, I got you. Over the button.
I am so.
Oh, you can't block their camera once you let them in.
Careful. I'm like just waiting for something to happen so I can just.
Yeah, no, because looking back on it, it did feel more as a troll, no, than an actual discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, even in scheduled debates,
Well, based
like I've
on
been
that, based on
there's no guarantee. Sometimes they even just lose it after about 5 or 10 minutes, even in an official moderated debate.
Fair.
Where we've had extensive emails beforehand going over each other's positions to make sure that we don't strawman each other and that the debate is coherent. And then they still get into the discussion and then they lose their mind and start showing their backside.
Yeah, what if you got like a Dillahunty on here? Imagine how bad that would be. He just starts screaming at you. That's not what it says. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess Flatzoid's approach is fair enough. You just gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah, and you think they'd be adult enough to just, all right, let me shut up, let me listen, and once you're done, because there were times, Flats, where you were just quiet, and he asked you like the same question over and are you gonna listen? Are you gonna listen? Are you gonna listen? And I'm like, yo, we're all shutting up, we're all sitting back, and we're all listening. He's obviously listening.
Yeah, but every time somebody hums or goes, it's like he uses an excuse to stop and start.
That's a common filibuster technique I've seen in debates where they constantly do that just so they can buy time and make it seem as if you're trying to interrupt them.
Yeah, see,
I think that's why Dave gets so mad when you do it on his show. You know what I mean? Because it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But like I was trying to say, what I'm trying to point out on his first citation he brought up, they're not saying what the definition of cosmogony and cosmology is. They're arguing for why it should be considered cosmogony and not cosmology. And this is what he didn't understand.
But cosmogony isn't cosmology and cosmogony isn't science. That was his rebuttal, right?
Yeah.
But why would you sit there and do that dance around and around about that same thing? Why wouldn't you just move on and say, okay, well, we can't agree on that. Let's move to something that we can agree on?
Exactly.
Flats had citation and definition on screen for
There
both
we
of
go.
those.
Yes,
I
yes,
realize
and that's
that, but
that's
if it was me and I
I
knew
think.
I was caught in a bind, that's what I would try to do something that at least made logical sense, so I didn't look stupid. Like.
Right.
But
That I
didn't
think
you
that I
know?
think is important
Didn't you
because
know? Didn't you hear him? Citation is only based on scientific papers. You can't have citation from anybody else.
Oh,
What nonsense is
No.
that?
Well, I mean, I guess we could all argue
Yeah, that's
that
terrible.
based on our own, our own evidence or whatever what we've been through. But if I went through
Yeah,
college
no,
and knew all that, I guess we got to
especially
I don't
later
know.
on.
Well,
One
citation
of the
should be
worst things he
based
said,
on
Aristotle uses scientific method.
you see, citation should be based
Yes.
on an authority in a certain subject. So if
Hmm.
we basing biblical theology and basing a biblical topic, the citations should be based on
On the Bible.
first of all,
Yes.
and then you can have scholars and things that are based on that subject.
Mhm.
What he wants to bring up that has got nothing to do with the subject is a category error.
Yes.
And I don't get it, to be honest with you. Like, cosmology is not a science, and they're trying to make it into one, right? That's basically what it is.
Yeah, it's because they want to try. This is their spiel. They're trying to make it push science onto cosmology because
Yes.
they want to make it unverifiable. They want to say, oh, because it's unverifiable, therefore it's a pseudoscience, and therefore it's just a fake belief. That's
Yes,
what they
and
want.
So then
yes.
dark matter, throw out dark matter, and
Well, when you don't have
essentialism anymore.
foundation for it yet.
But you see, Sean, I think you'd
That's
agree
pretty
with this.
good
This is the whole
backwater.
reason why the glow-believing Christians suffer so much in these debates, because they're trying to push science into it.
Sure, because they haven't studied the actual text of the scriptures, so they have no clue what they're talking about anyway. Well, that's what's going to be interesting is that a year ago I had Dr. Hamp and his friend, who's this really annoying lawyer. I had both of them on my channel for a discussion. So it was me and Ken Heidebrecht versus them two. And we were talking about. They wanted to talk about their view of. They have two different views of the Trinity. One of them is more like a oneness, and Dr. Hamp's more like a classical Trinitarian, and then how they interpret that into like covenants and stuff. And so we had this lengthy like 2.5 hour discussion with them about different Bible passages. And then now this year they want to talk about biblical cosmology because they hate it that we've been talking about it for like 6 years, and they think it's like making Christians look dumb. They think it, you've heard all those things, right? All those pejoratives. And so they would not come on my show again because the last time they were on my show, like the lawyer kept talking over everybody. I actually had to mute him, and he got so offended. And I was almost about to kick him off the show, but I was afraid Dr. Hamp would leave as well. And so I just kept him on there, but I just kept having to mute him because he was just like, he couldn't control himself. He was so triggered by everything, right? So this time, the only way I could get them to talk with me again is through a moderated third-party channel with the moderated discussion. And we are going to talk about biblical cosmology. We've already got all of our verses agreed upon. We've got the format and everything. So, and this guy, they've written like a super lengthy requirements of what they don't want to be asked about and what they don't want to talk about.
Oh no.
So like this is the only way they had agreed to come on camera and do this. Like this is how scared they are. And we're talking about a pastor of a church. I've been to his church in Denver. We're talking about a pastor of a church who should be able to talk about the Bible without restrictions, right?
Yo, what's going on with these pastors in Denver? What is going on with them?
Don't you know Denver's the new head of the Illuminati, bro?
This is where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
Guys,
that's
I'm right in the middle of it.
I'm sick of it. Yeah.
Now,
It's
lovingly,
crazy,
like
man, because you got Will Duffy getting caught out there in these lies, and then and let's
I know,
talk
right?
about Will Duffy for. This is crazy.
I've talked to him actually.
Yeah, and we had him on True Earth Tuesday for the Q&A where Sav and Butters was there, and they tore him down. But
It's a little more different though. Talking to him in person, I got a whole different persona than I did when I was watching him on the internet doing any debates.
Because he's at this point he's without himself. Now it's him versus true honest people, serious asking for trying to get down to the nitty gritty. right? And he really, it's hard to defend yourself when you're in front of people like that, right? And you don't have canned
Honest
answers
people,
that we're
yeah.
just going to fall for. So today, what's his name? Flat Earth Banjo. He came out with a video that showed multiple contradictions. And I'm sitting, did you see it? You saw it, didn't you, Flats? Did you see
Yep.
it?
A
Oh
lot of
my goodness. And that thing was so full of contradictions. I'm just sitting there perplexed. I'm like, this guy came onto my show and lied to our faces. And he has, and this is what amazes me is that he had, and I'm still right now, instead of saying that he lied, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe he misspoke. I'm just going to say maybe he misspoke and maybe he didn't remember some things, or maybe I just didn't hear some things, because I'm seeing this video and it was a mashup and I see nothing but contradictions. And then I'm thinking back to when we interviewed him. And then I'm like, well, that's not what he said. He said something totally different. And what sucks is that this is on record now. It's not
Maybe
as
it was a
if, you
parody
know,
or something, but I don't know.
Wait,
Yeah,
which
it sounds
video
like
is
it.
it?
Well,
Which video is
to
it?
be
this is
fair,
this is
Will
the
Duffy
video
does
from
think the firmament is the crust, so I
is
wouldn't
the crust of
trust
the earth.
what he
Right.
teaches.
So, and
Careful, yeah.
that's what I'm saying, Flats. That's what I'm saying is that he thinks he's taking his Bible study from a pastor that I mean that's debatable as to who this pastor is. I mean, it sounded like a whole story all in itself. So I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe he's just
Yeah, his
he
mentor
just
wasn't one of the greatest role models, first of all.
right.
No.
Maybe he didn't look into the scriptures for himself. He just took this all from somebody else's word and just ran with it. Because he doesn't seem to know the scriptures well at all, but yet he's a pastor. And then
Well,
the
his
inconsistencies that his stories, the inconsistencies behind his stories were just remarkable. I'm serious, they were
But I
remarkable.
mean, if you just look at the doctoral teachings that Bob Enyart gave, there's so much red flags.
Oh,
you know what I
man.
mean?
Did he pass away, Bob Enyart?
But you see, if Bill Duffy was learning his stuff from him, then I would expect what he's teaching today to be what he's, the things he's doing, which is sad because his mentor was unfortunately on the wrong path.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
The only thing I've heard Bob Enyart actually say is he wanted to put a flat earther on a rocket and shoot him in space.
Yes. So he could see. I think that was part of the Flat Earth Banjo video. Was that Bob Enyart clip where he says those things? I didn't even know who Bob Enyart was until somebody had mentioned him on the show with Will Duffy
Just blocked
a
him.
few weeks
Just
back.
blocked him. I just got rid of him. He's an idiot.
He does seem to troll.
Yeah,
I think it's crazy that this guy doesn't know. It seems as if he doesn't know anything about this, and yet he's spearheading this venture down to. Do you see what I'm saying? He's paying so much money. He's getting all these people, and he doesn't know anything about it. Like that's the biggest red flag, I think. That's the biggest red flag. He doesn't know anything about
it. He's all gung ho, but he's all gung ho, like as if he's into it. Yeah, it's like weird.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ironworks. Do you want me to call you that, or what's your?
Yeah, sure. You can call me that, or you can call me Vlad. Sure.
Vlad. Okay. Will strikes me because I interviewed him twice now. I looked up his past, whatnot. I've heard what other people have presented about him, accusations, claims, evidence of different types. I've seen lengthy things about him. He strikes me as the kind of guy, because he was an investment planner and specifically was given some spotlight within that community of investment planning for having some special method. He literally called it the Duffy method. So I used to be an investment planner. I would never in my wildest dreams put together an investment strategy and call it the Griffin method. Because the type of ego that requires in order for you to get to that place to where you're selling books about your method, the Duffy method, to the point where like you put your name on it and you're getting interviewed on Forbes about it and all that kind of stuff. So he's a
That's
different
like
level of ego to where he thinks he's a shot caller, right? He thinks he's the puppet master. He thinks that he can sit back and he can just say, "Oh, I'll pay for you guys to go and have this argument out there in the cold, but I'm not going to go and do it." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
right.
he's that mindset, right? He thinks he's a boss that's just going to have people do things for him because he's already achieved some level of credibility. He doesn't have to prove himself. But in vain, he has stepped to an entire community where he is completely outclassed, outknowledged. He has no clue what he's doing, and even biblically, I don't know if you guys saw the interview I did with him.
Yep.
He doesn't actually believe the Bible. He somewhere along the line, I don't know if it was Bob Inyard or if it was whomever trained him in scriptures. They convinced him that it's okay to just interpret the Bible as you see fit, which is
Yes.
like literally like Satan's lie in the garden. Did
Yep.
God really say? Like it's just, and seminaries are notorious for doing this today with pastors, and they'll just tell them like, "Oh, you don't have to really believe this. Like you could." So here's a great example. You guys know who Sentinel Apologetics is? You ever seen him on YouTube?
I don't think so. No.
He's from Australia. He's a seminary student, and he is heavy into critical citations and uh, apologetics from a seminary
Technical,
standpoint.
Mhm.
And he basically told me that he doesn't believe the Ten Commandments are actually from God, but instead that Moses just plagiarized the Hammurabi Law Code and Mesopotamian cultures around him. And that's what he's been taught. And guys, this is not a one-off. This
Wow.
is actually becoming
I've heard this before, though.
this is becoming very, very common
Peter.
in seminaries. They're teaching people that the law of God, it wasn't from God sending angels to speak to prophets. It wasn't literally a divine word from above. Like Jesus said, we live on every word of the mouth of God. They don't teach that anymore. They're teaching these guys, oh well, actually, Moses was in this ethnocentric Middle East area in the past, and he had influences with the Egyptians, the Mesopotamians, the Akkadians, and so he just pulled pieces from their standards and cultures and
That's
laws.
actually low IQ pagan, like Adam Green retard level. Excuse my
Yeah,
language.
no, it is. It's just syncretism at the worst level. But what it does though is it makes them reject that the scriptures are literally inspired by God.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
as a result, the outflow of that is they feel licensed personally that when they run across a verse they don't understand, they feel licensed to, instead of being diligent about it and applying James chapter 1:5 and saying, hey, if anyone who lacks wisdom, let him ask God who gives freely without finding fault. Instead of going that route, which requires faith and study, they just make up their own interpretations.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so this is why they'll argue with you and they'll say, well,
got it.
when you bring scripture, they don't, even if you just read scripture to them without interpreting it, you just read it to them, they'll just respond with, well, that's your interpretation.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, right. Yes, and that's exactly what we were getting from him when we were interviewing him. And it was like at that point it was almost as if we just brought Will Duffy on to waste time, because it's like at that point we saw him for what he was, and I felt bad because I was like, dang man, here's Mr. Money over here. I'm thinking you a hot shot, something. And it's like, man, you just wasted our time. You wasted your time. And you just exposed yourself.
Another charlatan.
But remember, I said earlier that Duffy's made this whole thing very personal to him.
He says it. He's going to do it because he says he's going to do it.
This isn't about flat or globe. This is personal to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's going to do it, so he's going to go proceed with it. That's what he said. He has to go through it.
Well, I've been noticing just recently that Jaron's doing almost kind of the same thing, even in the same sentence. He'll say one thing and he'll say the exact opposite later. I think Duffy's rubbing off on him.
I think with Jaron's a different thing because he's stuck in the middle of everything now.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really know. He's unsure which way to go.
I do that on purpose to make things funny, but
Yeah,
Bro,
but
look, I give
put himself in a position for that.
I give super props for Jaron wanting to go. I think we should all want to go. I just don't want to go on Will Duffy's dime.
Exactly. That is bad news.
Yeah.
I don't trust it at all. And I kept reiterating that to him. I was like, do you not see why we don't trust it? I was like, here you are, Mr. Money, coming around, funding this entire trip, and you're just doing it out of the kindness of your heart. I was like, nobody that is as successful as you with money
Yeah.
doesn't
The
look
journey.
for
Well,
the benefit, how you
but you
benefit.
see,
So how do you
but you see,
benefit? He's like,
yeah,
oh,
but
it's
you see,
just
like with
kindness.
me though, I don't really see the point for going because it's not going to prove anything anyway. So
No.
it's
Yeah,
just a waste.
if you could prove what you wanted to prove from that particular location, they would have already had tons of video from it already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know, I'm not just talking out my backside here on this particular show. I've already personally texted Dave Weiss, Jaron, and Austin that same thing. I've told them, look, guys, go just raise your own funds. The community will fund you in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Yes.
Start a gifts and go. Raise your
Absolutely.
own funds. No,
I
as
help
Bill
fund some
Will
of it.
Duffy's,
Yeah.
you know, what I'm saying, like, I'll gladly contribute to you going. Like, I have a new baby, I can't go.
And they
But
should all go to different places.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
be
organize your
strict.
own trip. You know what I'm saying? Since
Yep.
it's
So
all
you're
I'm
going to a
saying is
different
like
place.
something seems to me like there's a red flag there if you have this supposed company out of Utah that has this unique location that could
I've
have proved this 20
Utah.
years ago.
I've been
but they still
looking at.
haven't.
I've been actually doing a lot of looking into that company there and what they do and all the things. It's weird. It's not really as happy as he puts it out to be. You know, as cut and dry as he puts it out. It's
Yeah.
quite a thing, and a lot of people are still saying it's not really going to happen. And I do.
So they claim they're going to fly to, was it Argentina, that particular spot?
And then
southern
they're going to
Argentina.
take from there to the glacier. Yeah.
Right. So that's where, I'm like, the community needs to fund somebody that knows how to work a compass and, knows how to, knows something about flight patterns. This is why I'm sad that, Bob passed because he would have been
Yeah,
perfect
Bob
for this.
Fidel.
Oh yeah.
But so basically somebody that,
Somebody
has
follow
a
them down
sense,
there.
a sense of awareness and that can be on the flights and they can document things. They're going to have like have two phones to film. And then once those get confiscated, you already have a button camera that's still filming because you've anticipated.
Or a
having
glass.
yourself
I'd have it
covered.
sewn in my jacket.
Yeah.
bro.
Or the glasses camera. So or the pen
have all
camera,
of it.
whatever, like have 6 cameras on you because something's going to happen. Something's going to be, they're going to, like I said, I've seen several supposed trips to Antarctica, like going to McMurdo Station and different places. And they're on these military flights where all the windows are blocked out.
C-17s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
just
they
I've been looking at it. And what's odd is they're claiming they are going straight with the whatever that jet with the planes and stuff. But when I look at their actual, they got a YouTube channel as well, Union Glacier. They never show that plane landing there. They do, however, show all the time. They got 2 other smaller
Drone
planes
footage.
that they use for local tourings there, and military vehicle, the C-17, that brings their supplies. They never show that one landing there.
Right.
No. I've seen the landing. I've seen the Lear they
Probably
land
dropped
down
it
there.
off.
So
probably
I would
dropped
agree
it
they can use that one to go to the outer edges of Antarctica, you could say, and then they climb onto something else to go to Union Glacier. How do you know they're really taking you where they're climbing?
Thank you. I was just about to
That's what I was
ask
about
that.
to
was
yeah.
right.
I was just
So-
about to, because you see, you don't just make it into this kind of community without asking the hard questions. We ask those hard questions and the questions that suck because they keep you up at night. But this is why, and everybody's saying, oh, you flat earthers are just scared. You're scared. No, we're asking the legitimate questions. That's why we're flat earthers, because we're not afraid to ask these questions that are hard to answer and that people won't give us legitimate answers for. Kind of like right now, we're not getting a legitimate answer as to why he's doing what he's doing, because these guys, and now who these guys and what their motives are is starting to come into question, which kind of sucks, right? Because I actually like watching Jaren's show. I like watching David Weiss and all these guys, and they kind of brought me into this true and flat earth. But now a lot of what they're doing is, it looks like it's starting to become shaky, and it looks like it's becoming compromised. And so to me, it looks as if the community is starting to split a little bit. Cracks are starting to form. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I was worrying about, because I feel that this is a strong community, but because there could be some dishonest players, there could be some level of dishonesty in here. And to me, the true and flat earth is full of honesty, right? We're nothing but honest. You know what I'm saying? To me, I thought this was all innocent. I'm like, we have no motives. We have nothing to hide. That's what makes it so beautiful and
We
so
just want to know the
excellent.
truth, right?
Exactly.
Show 'em.
Even if we're wrong,
Yeah.
we can accept it because, hey, we're coming from a place of honesty. But when you see these things happen, and then we're the ones yelling, asking the questions, and we're the ones yelling, saying, hey, no, stop. Talk to people that know. Talk to people. Get wisdom about this whole thing before you decide to leap, and then people get upset with us because we're telling them, listen,
We're defending their
stop,
honor, but they don't
seek
realize it.
counsel before you do this thing. Please seek counsel. They get upset, and now you have divisions within the community, right?
All
And
because you're
now,
trying to help them out.
because these divisions form, we don't trust them. And it's unfortunate. Say Jaron is coming from a place of honesty, but maybe he's just being, or to us, we see that he's misinformed, but maybe he sees something, I don't know what, but maybe he sees something or he's experiencing something that we're not, right? There's still division because there's still that lack of communication. I've been begging. I've been getting on his show previously. I've been begging for him to answer those people that he's been talking crap about, i.e., the Leos, right? Level of Earth Observer. He talks crap about them, but Level Earth Observer has been asking legitimate questions as to why are you doing this, Jaron? This doesn't make any sense, Jaron. Jaron, this is what this looks like, Jaron, right? And Level Earth Observer doesn't sit there starting starting stuff with people, right? Flat Earth Banjo, much the same thing, right? And Flat Earth Banjo, to me, he doesn't appear as he's a harmful man or he's trying to attack you, right? But he's bringing up really good points. These guys have pretty prominent channels, right? They're bringing up pretty good points. Instead of talking junk about them, you have a responsibility to bring these people to your channel and have a discussion. Talk man to man with them because we're concerned. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is Flat Earth Man makes a very good point, man. You're putting the community at risk. You're putting the community
things
at
like when Dave Weiss goes crawling to Roseanne Barr and gets on her show to get publicity. I get it, but I mean, it's not going to give credit here.
And exactly, and I'm sorry for ranting, but it's like something has got to give because you are putting the community at risk. I'll land my plane. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, you're right. I agree with everything you said, bro.
Yeah. I wonder about Dave going on high profile podcast to talk about this. Not because he's trying to put the community at risk, but more than anything, he's trying to actually protect himself. Because the louder you get, the more high profile you can talk about, the less likely they might be to try to just off you quietly. Because you've already gotten yourself out there, and that sense of media is a sense of protection. Because I've always wondered, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Dave about this personally, but I've always wondered, what he feels about getting notoriety about this topic. I mean, he's becoming like the biggest face in this community, interviewing all these people and being known by celebrities and stuff. And so I just wondered how he plans on handling that type of fame. It's not fame in the sense of a celebrity like Hollywood, but it is its own fame for this particular topic. And with that can come danger.
Yeah, he's
going to be blowback.
He's almost got the Alex Jones persona going on to him.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Like when I saw him get on Alex Jones and do the skit in the beginning, I was like, oh, this isn't good. Come on, man. I was like, we're so much better than that. Like, this is bad. This is really, really bad. And even Dave Weiss, his name is coming across as somebody that folks aren't to trust. And like it's starting to really, really bother me. And I'm like, if it's bothering me, it's bothering other people as well.
Not to like.
Yeah, but the point that Sean's making is he's trying to put himself as much out there as possible. So if something does happen, then they know why. You understand? It's like it's almost protection.
Yeah. You really think that's why it is? Then I feel bad. If that's true, I feel bad. Then.
Well, but that's the same. That's why I say the same with Alex Jones, because he is in that same kind of limelight. He's too far out there now. If something had to happen to him, you would know. Yeah, they took him out.
So you think he acts crazy on purpose to keep them from taking him out?
Well, he does think toads.
It didn't help Andrew Breitbart, did it?
Well, he does.
Well, I'm saying it's a possibility, but I mean, what are the odds? I mean,
Breitbart was back in the day before everything was on socials so prevalently as it is today. So I mean, that was still kind of like as we were cresting into the world, realizing there's, social media is cutthroat. And so, which all news agencies were going on to social medias during that span of like 2005 to now. So it's like, I should say 2014, because then in 2017 they started doing studies. Even mainstream news organizations started doing studies on the censorship on YouTube and Facebook and X, or Twitter at the time, and how bad it was against conservative content and against religious content. And so it's bad. So I just had a quick question though for everybody, since we're all conspiracy theorists by heart, by nature.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Since if you believe the Bible, you're definitely a conspiracy theorist, right? So
apparently,
yeah. So I have a quick question. If they're willing to go to the lengths of creating a false Mars rover station in North Canada or whatever, is it possible? And would the observation of the sun align to make a false airport that they fly you to in the north, that they then fly from out there thinking that you're going south to the Antarctic?
Yep.
Yes.
Very possible.
Absolutely.
So just think about it for a minute. If they're willing to spend millions and potentially hundreds of millions of dollars to build fake operations in the north and claim it's on Mars, why wouldn't they build a fake airport area that you land in? And then they've said, oh, now we're in southern Argentina, but no, you can't go into town. There's no layover. We're jumping on another plane right now.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they're just taking you to the north. Now, the question though I have, because I'm trying to picture it in my head, with the observation of the sun specifically, I guess it wouldn't match because it's the wrong time of year. But I'm wondering if the observation of the sun, unless they just know the region they're taking you to is going to be cloud covered and there's no possible way you can see the sun anyway.
Yeah.
Because they've already, they already have this place mapped out.
It's much more plausible to do that. I mean,
yes.
You saw that stream where we did Space Cadets?
No.
And I was going to mention that, Flats. That's right.
Yeah. What they did is they took a whole bunch of people and they put them on a plane and they took off at an airport in England. And they just flew around for a few hours. And they changed the airport to look like it was a Russian military base.
Mm-hmm.
And then they landed there and they believed they were in Russia, Moscow.
Yep.
Training to be space cadets to go to space.
So real quick, there's a comment. Sandro said, "Take a compass, easy." So I hosted a couple of years ago. I did a show on the Russian Antarctic station that sends up weather balloons and does weather. And they claim that all weather stations in the Earth get their information from this Russian weather station, which puts up daily balloons. They also had on film. They had their guy. He has a compass at the Russian Antarctic station, and it doesn't work. And he's showing you that the compass doesn't work down here.
Yeah,
I've seen that one.
Yeah. Remember, there's a lot of magnetic poles, magnetic
anomalies.
That's what magnetic declination.
Declination. That's what it is.
Because of the magnetic anomalies.
Yes.
The pole shifting and stuff. So yeah, you're not really going to be able to use a compass to be able to really.
Yeah, little Marty Leakey actually did a whole show on like where these magnetic occurrences happen. He's hopping around the Earth showing this now on some of his videos. He's taking a compass with him too.
You think that if the South Pole was a thing, that automatically the sun, I guess you could say the opposite of the northern part of the magnet that always points north,
should be pushing towards the north. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right. The
So it
south
should
part
still
would
make the-
automatically take control, but no, that's not the case. That's not the case because it's not a thing. That's why.
I just wonder if
Guys, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end the stream here because I got to get up early. Got a full day
we've been on
tomorrow.
yeah.
Today.
I was just gonna say one thing. I wondered if you took a shovel, if you were superhuman, you took a shovel, dug it underneath Antarctica to the South Pole, would you then flip on the other side? How would that happen?
Where's the point where you flip over? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Where is that center point? Yeah.
Anyways, yep. Nice stream flat.
Got some ice chipper.
Yeah, awesome stream.
Yeah,
I'm going to be on tonight. I'm going to be finishing up the Urbano Monte map. I'm going to finish up the quadrant. So
I'm on the
Even
monitor.
if they didn't take you to the north, say you did fly to Argentina, and just like there are cold zones in different parts of the earth, that there could be an island somewhere in the South Pacific that is a cold zone.
Mhm.
And the reason I say this is because of the way that Scripture describes the different ways that the wind patterns move, and it just makes me wonder if they could possibly know about some land we don't know about where it is an equal distant flight that they claim they're going to. What is it? It was 78 degrees south parallel or whatever they think they're going to. But they're basically not taking you to the South Pole. They're just taking you somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's also a cold, icy place. And then the sun is actually
You're not
going
going to know. You're just
over
going to
your
see
head.
light. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
just going to.
I get where you're going, Sean.
Yeah. And by the way, Magic Man, did you say you met Duffy in person?
Yep.
My name's Roger, by the way. Yes, I have. I went to his church. I had a little confab with him. Sat down, talked about setting up a.
He didn't have the bravado that he does on the internet.
No, he's much more meeker in person.
Because he's what, 5'8"?
Yeah, he's short.
Yeah.
But you know what was odd was
Yeah.
he wanted to just visit his church, and he said, okay, you must come do a presentation for him. So then he's like, oh, okay, fine, he'll do it. And when he went, then it's like, no, he wants him to do a presentation for the Sunday school. It's like, why?
What?
And then Roger, by the time you showed up, what was it like? Tell us.
When I got there, they were all sitting at a table and they were having breakfast. And he took me to the side and he showed me the so-called emails he sent me, but he never actually sent to me. Yeah.
Oh Lord! See,
and he said, "Well, I'll get back in touch with you. We'll set up a time for you to come in here in the Sunday school and build your presentation, and you'll present it." And I went outside. Yeah, the kids were there. His kids were actually in the yard playing with a drone when I got there. It was kind of fun. I got a church vibe out of it. It was a friendly vibe. It was a family church, really small. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a chapel.
You did a good job.
All right, Flats, man, we appreciate you for having us on, brother.
Yeah, it was cool. It was awesome.
It was a good talk.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
You're always welcome, Sean.
Yes, Sean.
And
just remember, guys, I know in this community there's a lot of different dissenting voices. There's a lot of claims of suspicion. There's a lot of things we can't verify, but just remember, we can know people by their fruits. So keep that in mind, no matter what claims may come against them. If they're walking in love and sincerity to the best of their ability,
I guess.
And obviously the truth is going to win out. Like if people are, to me, it's like if people are just blatantly ignoring the scriptures and pushing a different agenda, I don't immediately think that they're a part of some 3-letter agency, but it's hard not to. I agree. My mind does want to go there, but then I just think about all the other biblical topics that I've run into where people are so indoctrinated with the false truth that they refuse to believe what the scriptures say. They just refuse it, And if you guys ever watch any of my channel, I've done tons of interviews, debates, and discussions with pastors who exhibit this on all biblical topics, not just cosmology. And so it's heartbreaking because I'm sitting there going, guys, I've got the words on screen, and they'll go, I don't care. And I just had a debate with a Baptist pastor 3-4 nights ago, and I read because he believed in once saved, always saved. It's a very, very strict view of once saved, always saved. He holds, and I put James 5:12 on screen. I said, "Do you believe this?" And he said, "No."
Wow.
So I mean, that's what we're dealing with. Even in the church, people are highly, highly deceived. Give them the benefit of the doubt, pray for them, let their fruit show their sincerity, and then and if we can catch them in some sort of scandal later, may God reveal that to us. But anyway, I wish you all the best, guys.
All right, you as well, man.
You too.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
PJ, you wanna?
Yeah, I'm 8 a.m. in the morning. Second part of the testimony I was doing today.
Nice.
Gonna post that video today if I finish it. I probably will. Definitely will, actually.
Hey, Nate, give me your link. Put it in the back chat so I can subscribe to you.
I'll give his link. I'll give you his link.
I don't have it. I don't have it right now. But you can just go into a search bar and just search youtube.com/8 at Nate John 11.
Nate John 11. Okay.
Yeah, at youtube.com/@NateJohn11, or you just search up Nate John 11.
I'll messenger you Nate's.
Easy.
Okay, that'll work. Yeah, back when I was a kid, it was a lot more black and white, man. You either believed the Bible or you didn't. Now, some people did interpret it. And,
remember when it was easy and you just had to point out a scripture and then they'd leave you alone for a while?
Well, the pastors actually, like Jimmy Stewart, and they got caught. They honestly saw the errors in their ways, but that didn't make them perfect by any stretch. Yeah, but it was more transparent.
So, all right.
But then you got him saying, "I didn't mean to sleep with those hookers" on national TV, and Oral Roberts saying he needed $1 million or God was going to kill him next week. That's the kind of stuff we got.
Yep, Jimmy Swag. Remember him? Oof.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's Jerry Lee Lewis's cousin.
Oh, that's not
at some
good.
point.
The rock star.
Absolute power corrupts completely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Yeah, right. Family, I am out of here. You guys enjoy your day. If you have the time, I'll be on tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'll be finishing up the map, like I said.
Yeah.
Roger, send Nate's link.
I got it already. That's quick.
Boom. Nate John 11.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
They came all the way from England.
Yeah, guys. So make sure to subscribe to PJ. He does streams daily as well. Make sure to subscribe to Nate. He's got a video coming out. He's going to have some content coming out soon. And make sure to subscribe to Iron, as he also does a lot of streams and stuff. And he's got an awesome series going at the moment with the Vibranti map. It's really awesome. So yeah.
And he does restream your work, Flatzoid.
That's right.
Yeah. Really awesome stuff. So yeah, guys, until later, because I need to get rest because I've got to get up in 5 hours. We've got a busy day ahead of us.